And we are live here, esports fans, with the NUEL semifinals coming through. I'm FBI Tugboat. Casting here with me is Mana Class. Down in producer's box is Hyde, making our job just so much easier. We're looking at Sussex taking on Cambridge, Class.
Yeah, we definitely are, and it's going to be the lower bracket finals, not quite the grand finals yet. That will be in a bit, and of course, the winner of this takes it to that grand finals. And yeah, we first got this matchup going on: Cambridge T, like you said, versus Sussex Sharks. I'm looking forward to it. Definitely, both of these teams are. I mean, they've had a run. They're both here, so they've definitely done well. But
Oh,
let's
yeah.
see who's going to do better right now.
Yeah, a run indeed, a run indeed. Of course, this competition made possible here by Twitch Student, Intel, some little, software, hardware company, and Republic of Gamers. Big shout out to them, appreciate that all the way through. Now,
Yeah.
Sussex and Cambridge are both 5-3, but I'm told here that Sussex does have the better overall map win-loss ratio.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Obviously, Sussex Sharks came down from the upper bracket finals
Mm-hmm.
against BU Stead, who we're going to be seeing in the next match. Maybe they're going to go up against them yet, but for now they have to go through Cambridge first. And
Oh, yeah.
Cambridge, I mean, they've been doing well, obviously. And I have one note for them, which is goats, which a lot of exclamation marks, followed by forehead. So I think that's basically sums up what we're probably going to see from them. They might have had some adjustments here. Like it could be that we're not going to see that from them, but
Mm-hmm.
if they've been doing so well for the entire season, I don't see any reasons to really change it up because, of course, we aren't locked in a 2-2-2 here.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely worth mentioning. Obviously, Overwatch in today's day and age is taking a little bit of a different turn, but because this tournament with the NUEL did start before 2-2-2 and before Sigma, we are playing without 2-2-2 required and without Sigma. Now, of course, we are on the most recent patch, so all the Brig nerfs, all the 12% ultimate passives, stuff like that is still in the game, of course, but no
Yeah.
Sigma, no Force 2-2-2.
Definitely not. And when we look at the Sussex Sharks, for instance, they're a little bit more. They've shown more flexibility. I think that's what we're definitely saying mostly
Mm-hmm.
about them. Not necessarily going full Overwatch League meta all the time. They've shown it a few times where they go the May Reaper and the Diva, the Orisa, and Lucio Moira. It's mostly on control where they do that. But
Mm-hmm.
on maps like Havana, maps like Paris, that's where they show a little bit of a different style here and there, where they might not go full on what the Overwatch League runs, but they sort of
Mm-hmm.
emulate it but mix it up a little bit. And it hasn't always been successful, but they definitely show that they want to go a little bit further than just say, "Oh, this is what they do in Overwatch League, so we just copy."
Yeah,
So
I
that's
mean,
that's always good to see.
yeah, it's reasonable to believe that obviously, the Overwatch League players they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little bit different. Can't have the same expectations. Something I'll be looking for is both Odyssey and Cog and Shu on the side of Sussex.
yeah.
They have flexed to every support in Overwatch, to literally every single support in Overwatch.
Yeah, they really have it. Odyssey has been popping off a lot on the Widowmaker and the Hanzo. Sliz are doing very well on the Orisa role, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of work that has to be done from them still today. Even
Mm-hmm.
if they win this first match, they're going to have to go up against BU Set again, which they lost 3-1 against last time. So it's all the play for still, and
Mm-hmm.
we could still see a Goats team potentially in Cambridge T get there. So that would also be a very nice turn of events to really close out this entire meta that we've had for over a year,
Yeah.
with another goats team getting into the finals. It would just really, that would just be the perfect ending, wouldn't it be?
It really would be, the very last, like, yeah, pretty much the very last tournament, unless there's some kind of throwback stuff in the future, like a
Yeah,
harkening to metas of the past.
really.
Unless that happens, yeah, I honestly think Mana Class, this will be mine and yours next to last because we are doing the finals after this one. But our next
Yeah,
to last goats calling of games, man. It'll be a
yeah.
little
I
bit
mean,
bittersweet. It'll be more sweet than bitter for this caster, though.
yeah, definitely the last unlocked game that I do. Like
Hmm.
we can, there's people that are arguing that the whole new May Reaper Orisa thing is sort of like the new goats because they just do the same thing but with different
Yeah,
heroes. I
it's
don't
kind of
really
about the
like to.
stalling. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like to go there though. I think the main thing I would like to call it is just going
Hmm.
back because with Orisa it's just not goats anymore. It already wasn't really goats anymore at the end of the Overwatch League. I
Yeah.
think I just want to go back to calling it Deathball, which it always was, it always will be. So that's just what I'm gonna say now. If you ever hear me say goats again, please just type Deathball in chat and I'll listen.
He just means
But I'm
death
trying to get
ball. Yeah, there you go.
I'm trying to get out. I'm just trying to get out of the rhythm of it because if it's not 3-3, it just ain't goats anymore. And yeah, it's all semantics, but that's there. There you go. Um,
No, I
getting
can
into
definitely
this
agree with
match
that.
though, yeah, getting into this match though, I think we're gonna start on Busan, which is of course a very recent addition to the game, but a very
Hmm.
welcome one. I think a lot of people really underestimated how interesting the map it was when it first came out.
100% agreed. Something I love about Busan, I'm definitely not the first person to say this, Mana Class, but it is so
Definitely not.
versatile. It is so
Oh yeah.
versatile.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, it can be said for a lot of control maps, and I think the reason why most people are very fond of Busan is it has so many resemblance to Lijiang Tower, which also has that the garden stage which has a
Hmm.
little bit more environmental possibilities granted than anything on Busan. But when you then go to the control center, which has a lot of resemblance to Mecha Base, which is a little bit of a different high ground play because it looks like it, but it's not the
No,
same. Yeah, it's
I'm
amazing.
literally
Like
picturing in my head, and
versatility
you're right.
and
I have not
yeah.
heard that before, but that is a that's a very interesting way to put it.
Yeah, it's because it's
Especially
so
yeah, Mecha
similar,
Base with
right? Yeah,
having the point like you also next to kind of like that environmental kill area right
maybe.
there.
Yeah,
That's a really good point. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just love it. I just like the map, and I mean the fact that you can do karaoke in spawn on downtown. I think that is just. You always hope you're going to be on that side, and then when you're on the other side, you're sort of disappointed because there's a dance machine, but no one's ever completed the Dance Dance game, as far as I know. So, yeah, it's an interesting one.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna get ready to get into game though because we can talk about this for hours. I know we can talk about
Singing
it.
and
So
dancing, yeah, exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Overwatch,
singing
that's
and
going to be the name
dancing.
of the game here. This is a best of 5 as well, so we're going to see at least 3 games. Of course, if
Yeah,
they do tie, we'll be going, I believe, Lijiang Tower, a full Lijiang Tower map will be the tie if we get all the way down there, past game, past a game 5.
yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
we don't, because I mean, as tense as that would be, it's always a little bit of a weird one going to there, because then you've already
Mhm.
had 5 maps, then you go to 6-1. It always feels a bit off. So let's just say we're gonna have a good old 3-2 at best, and then we're done. But for now, getting
Gotcha.
into Busan, I'm excited, and let's just get into it.
Yeah, something that's obviously been super popular. I want you to talk to me about this. The double snipers, especially on downtown.
Yeah, so we're starting here on Sanctuary. So
Is it?
Sanctuary is gonna be a
Okay.
great one. A lovely temple in the middle. No. I mean, there is an opportunity for environmental kills here, but you usually don't really see it come out because no one really fights on that edge. There's a big health pack, but there's not much else to do there. Oftentimes, there is a lot more to do about the drums here. A lot of teams are really respecting the rhythm here of both the big drum on the mid center of the point, but also that one in the little room on the left or the right, depending on where you enter. It's just
Mm-hmm.
we call it the drum room. It makes sense because there's a drum in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
room.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no, big drum in a
and
room. Thoroughly.
and
You're a
most
logical
importantly
guy,
about
man,
it,
class. That's why I like you.
yeah, but most importantly, like why you want to be there is because it's high ground. Like it's just a bit higher than
Hmm.
the rest of the point. That's why you want to attack there. So with both of these teams coming out, it's not really a surprise. We do see, actually, it is a surprise maybe because I do
Huh.
think we see Cambridge on something that isn't goats, guys. It's DPS for now, and it looks to be 2-2-2. And on the other side, we actually see the goats come out here. So I don't know if they just debated them in thinking they were gonna go goats, but this looks really cool. Are they gonna? Oh, they're swapping up. It's gonna be a goat mirror. This is amazing. Doors are opening. Here they
Gotcha.
go.
Yep, this is it. Possibly one of the last that these two casters ever will have the pleasure of casting. A little bit of a different look from the side of Cambridge with Nano on that Baptiste, but still, in essence, that GOAT composition. Meeting in big drum now. That's Reinhardt's posturing up here. We see Arcturus trying to get around, but nasty stun coming against him as the invincibility shield does come out. Nano already up to 65% ultimate. Lots of back and forth here as Fixed does get felled. Reinhardt swings in more as point does open up, and we're going to see a Cambridge team that needs to take advantage of this one.
Yeah, normally you would definitely see these rigs just doing a lot of work right now, but Fixed trying to play the Brigitte as she was, but she doesn't have the same sustain. Her shield breaks a lot faster with that 200 HP that she has now.
Mhm.
And it just broke, especially with Baptiste just putting down the immortality field. You can't really do anything against that. So very well played playing that Baptiste from the start.
Now the Baptiste window coming out first. The invincibility shield falling very quickly on that one as Chamber tries to and gets. Oh my goodness, Lizard with a nice shatter, but the side of Sussex not able to capitalize on that one. Shatter answered here. Big one as the charge finds one. Chamber and Kindu find some of their own. Sussex is on the run.
Sussex on the run, and it's just a nice ghost play. Once again, the immortality field and the amplification matrix. The Baptiste I feel that's just really making the difference right now. The Baptiste versus the Brigitte, you cannot really play that Brigitte anymore in this fashion because she doesn't do the same thing she used to be. She isn't as sustainable, doesn't do the same amount of healing, especially not to herself. So I would definitely maybe consider switching, but that rally might make the difference.
There's the grab, there's the answering trans, and here's the self-destruct in the back. It is gonna get answered by the sound barrier instantly, and that was a great job answered again, and that's Chambers getting the shatter around Slizer. Shuba gonna be the first one falling on this one, as Nkendo now down nose Zenyatta's in this contest, as we see Slizer just getting really aggressive. Panel now coming out by Nano again as Cookies drops his sound barrier. We see a Sussex team trading in the back. 5 members trying to take out 2 of the Cambridge. Charge coming in by Slizer, but not going to land on that one as the invincibility shield doing exactly what it needs to. That's Odyssey falling to his counterpart as Taru Neutrino, we're just going to call him Tau, is felled there, and that's Sussex now taking their own percentage.
They finally managed to, in an extended fight, get that point back. Both grabs came out, the transcendence came out. Very worth noting though that Town Neutrino, because he used that grab so early, already has it back. And with no support ultimates on the other side, that could be a deadly ultimate. It's going to be very much onto iFluxed up to eat that one, or maybe counter with a nice Diva Bomb.
Or something here, because that's looking like their win condition right here, and the side of Sussex really needs to get away from it, but that's going to be 4 or 5 members and self-destruct right there. Oh, and perfectly blocked off by this pillar as well. Swing coming in, Slicer getting all the attention in the world, self-destruct of their own, now answered by the sound barrier. Slicer does fall, some well-placed shots by Cookies and more, as we see a Sussex team just trying to get all the way in here no matter which way they can. Both Zenyatta's falling early on this one again, as we see a very low Diva, Fluxed Up getting taken out of his mech very quickly, as we see Cambridge getting up to about 99%. I think this team might be done, Mana Class.
Yeah, and it really looks like, I mean, it looked very good to start off with. They threw out the Graviton, immediately Self-Destruct came in to counter it, zoning out the enemy from following up, but they still lost their Reinhardt, they still lost their Zenyatta early, and Fix just cannot do that same sustain trick on the Brigitte. I keep repeating it, but it's so important, and I'm really doubting whether they should stick on it. They might just want to try it out. They might just want to see how it goes, and they're going to go for something else on the next maps, but the main difference with the Baptiste versus the Brigitte, I think it is just a counter composition at that point.
So is it just the burst healing that's being gone that makes Fixed on the Brig just not as effective?
It's everything. So she's not necessarily been nerfed, but she's nerfed in the way that she used to work before. She's essentially been reworked. So she is now actually a healer and not anymore a pseudo tank DPS and a healer at the same time. So her armor packs don't burst heal anymore. Her shield is only 200 HP. She doesn't heal herself as much anymore. The only thing that's really been buffed in that respect is her whip shot, because it just goes faster now. But everything else is just changed. So yeah, Fix still sticking on it. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, Flux taking a whole lot of damage off the rip here as Nano finds more and more value from this invincibility shield. I tell you what, Flux now being taken out of mech as Nano's invincibility frisbee does fall. Chamber getting a lot of attention and falling in the middle for it, so Slicer now setting up a very aggressive push. He's already got Shatter.
Yeah, Slicer already got Shatter, and while Nano got that application matrix up, not really going to use it just yet. The immortality fields are working out very well for Nano, but it was a little bit too far backwards, and I mean, Sussex played it really smart, where they just said, you know, you throw the immortality field, we just run through the immortality field, so you have to back off out of it, and then we kill your Reinhardt, which is exactly how it turned out for them.
Yeah, that radius is only so big as now we see a Cambridge train trying to posture through this doorway. Zarya grab, personal's coming out. There's the grab. There's the answering transcendence. No self-destruct for it quite yet as Chamber does fall to a well-placed charge and more. Nano still trying on this one. Now the Shatter gonna lay him down left and right.
They're doing so well right now. They're really turned it around from the last game where they're being a little bit too passive. In the last round, they really played that GOAT style in the way where you essentially have a mirror matchup where you're both waiting for the Brigittes and the Zenyatas and all the cooldowns to work out. But it works a little bit differently when you play against these Baptiste, and they're very much realizing what they have to do, using their ultimates now in the rotation. They are a little bit down in them, but they have their support ults.
Yeah, Cambridge definitely has the advantage on this one as now the grab comes against him, answering Transcendence, but that pain coming out is going to do them no favors. Chambers falling very quickly and falling first And even with the sound barrier, Cookie's a little bit late on that one. Only going to have 2 or 3 other players in the middle of that, but that's going to be Sussex with another very definitive team kill.
Very definitive one, as you say. Very nicely done once again. And now they have their ultimates back. They used both their support ultimates, but so did Cambridge. So with that Graviton and Self-Destruct and the Shatter coming up from Slizzard, they should be really good holding another one.
Yeah, I mean, 2 tank ultimates for the side of Cambridge. Self-destruct over on the side. This is going to take Shu. Wasn't able to get away from that one. Oh, the Shatter interrupted and the 5K by Fluxtup. Oh my god. This guy wanted a full team kill for himself after the last one, and he got it.
And they did it so cleverly as well. They threw out the Graviton, then the Immortality Field is used, so they're not going to throw out the Self-Destruct straight away. Then the combo just gets eaten by the Immortality Field. They just combine them. It's a last-minute attempt. They don't even make it there. That was so nicely done from Sussex. They pull the round back, 100-0 on Mecha Base. And we're going to go to a round 3 on Busan here to decide the first map.
Yeah, already, right? Sussex playing really differently in this one so far. I have to point out that, yes, Slizzard and Fluxtup for the side of Sussex. Both Reinhardts, both Divas had ultimate. Arctis and Chamber on the other side has theirs as well. We just obviously saw who was able to make the most out of it. Very interesting stuff. Big 5K.
Yeah, still sticking with fixed on the Brigade. I'm gonna keep repeating it until they change it, but I think this is just what they just made their mind up. They're like, you know what, we haven't played this style in ages, let's just do how we remember it and not try to do anything with the Baptiste or anything else. So I respect it. Gonna run out with exact same competition we've been seeing the last 2 rounds. Nothing new there, but it's a new map. Different things might happen.
Indeed, this one's going to have a difference in vertical positioning as well. A lot of different high grounds and low grounds, but we're going to see how that does affect Fixed and Nano, which team's going to take advantage. This is Cambridge kind of getting slapped around, honestly. Again, the invincibility shield comes out, but getting aggressive as Sussex. Now backing up, actually. I'm not really sure if they had to do that, Class.
Yeah, no, it doesn't necessarily have to, but I think it's a nice way of doing it, of posing aggressively so the Immortality Field is baited out. There's the Amplification Matrix already, though.
There it is. Lots coming through it. Flux going to feel the fire from that one as all the damage in the world landing on that 600 HP Diva mech. Now up top is Sussex with the rest. Slizer trying to open it up, this for him. Fixed in the back, and we see a Sussex team very close to ultimate all the way through as Cambridge does hit 9-10% here. They're just really kind of waiting for their Diva, and Flux not able to get back there in time to eat that one up. But Tao is going to fall on that as Chambers follows suit. Shatter falling, and Sussex going to be winning this one in short order.
At the beginning of that fight, though, when that Application Matrix came out, you do see them act exactly like Neo in the Matrix, where they just dodge the bullets. You walk around the corner, and they're fine. And even though they did get eye-fluxed up, it was just that momentum where they're like, you know what, we'll rotate away, and then we rotate back. And you see Cambridge not really sure what to do with that because they want to fight around that Baptiste play. So the rotations right now from Sussex is really what's winning them this game.
Vix coming out, the Brig ult first. Invincibility shield dropping as Nkindu pulls the early Transcendence. Shattered laying, but nobody on the side of Cambridge able to make anything with it. Sound barrier dropping for both teams. Cog and Cookies doing their parts, but a self-destruct going to take out Cookies even with the sound barrier. Lots of kills coming out. Cambridge going to be losing this one.
Yeah, once again, it's all about the positioning here from Sussex. They're really able to rotate as a team, but then split up and sort of surround the enemy team so that they don't really know where to shoot or where to go. And that's how Slizzard eventually gets that shatter off. Gets about 4 or 5 people on the ground, and after that's just cleanup. That's the simple cleanup. Arcture is actually going off the map here. I think he was still in Baby Diva form. That's why.
Just wanted to reset, I guess. I don't know. That's going to cost him another, 6-8 seconds perhaps, as he is back now. I think the big difference here has been between Slizer and Chamber.
Yeah, it really is. They're really putting up a lot of effort into getting that Chamber out of the way. Immortality Field saving him now?
Chamber getting so aggressive there as the self-destruct getting blocked off in this narrow alleyway. Chamber now falling for his aggression. Slizer following suit, so we're going to see a Reinhardt-less game so far. Transcendence popping, his Fix is going to fall even through all of that. Cog following suit, and players of Sussex just kind of cleaning up here back and forth. It's actually sad, so we saw some trades a second ago, but Sussex now actually going to be playing off the back foot as they're reaching 95, 96. Cambridge getting there just in time.
Yeah, they're still slugging a little bit with that Reinhardt, so they're gonna get to the 99 here, but that was an interesting fight because it kind of went back and forth. as Chamber went down, this time also Slizzard fell. So you were missing both Reinhardts, and even though the Grav was sort of countered by the Transcendence, after that you just got everyone in a ball, and you can take the aggressive position when you are Cambridge and just open up that fight and get more kills as you follow up. So they really played their old economy properly. The Transcendence might have been a little bit early with that amplification matrix in the Grav because they weren't able to save Chamber anyways.
Yeah.
But it worked out in their favor, so not too much to comment there.
Sussex coming around a little bit of a different angle in this one. Is Sound Barrier dropping. Cookie is doing his part again. Self-destruct over the top. Oh, not everybody gonna get away from that one as the Shatter does land. That's Slizer and Cog getting down to that one. Slizer gonna be the first to fall here as Nkindu doing his part to make sure nobody falling on the side of Cambridge. They really need to hold on to this and cannot afford to let it go. Cog now with the Sound Barrier as we see Odyssey getting very, very aggressive. He has the grab of his own, but gonna fall in the grab of Tau now, and that's Chamber and Moore taking kills left and right. Gonna be switching on over to them from red, so Cambridge actually taking this back 99 to now 60%.
And that's a second fight in a row where we've seen Odyssey throw out the Graviton first, and then the second Graviton of Tau Neutrino is the one that actually follows up with a lot of the kills. And Odyssey has it back, so because using that grab early in that fight just gives him another grab, basically. But
yeah, that's...
Yeah, it might not be enough. We'll see.
It was wild there, and no matter what, Self-destruct coming out is going to find Cog, and that's a great way to start this team fight as we're hitting 81, 82%. Slides are next fixed after that, and Odyssey on the end. That's going to be a full team kill against Sussex. Now we're looking at Cambridge on point, and they're going to have Lucio, and they might need to switch to the stall comp with the Doomfist and whatnot.
I think Cog's gonna make it on the Lucio because he's definitely there, and they had time, so he's touched, but. Did he touch? Yeah, he did touch.
Yeah, he definitely, he clipped the corner there, but now trying to get back, not gonna matter. The hit scan shots from Nano gonna fell him there. His nice charge come through, but gonna get blocked off damage with the Zarya projected. Slizer falling, and now that just sets up Chamber to shatter everyone. Grab falling out here in the end. There's a bit of Odyssey trying to do his part, but that's not gonna be enough. This one going on over to Cambridge.
Well, kids, as everyone knows, just go goats and you'll win a map. No, of course, I'm kidding. Of course, we had a matchup, so both of them did it. I do still stand by my point that I don't think the Brigade was a smart play. You could have even gone with the Ana to just deny a lot of the healing that came out. Yeah. But maybe even the Moira. But obviously, the Moira usually you lose out against the Zen. But then if you have the Zen and the Moira, that might be different. I think just the Brigade was a little bit of an odd choice. It makes sense because that's what it used to be, but with all the changes that you had, I don't think you can use her in the same way. And if there's no real pressure on your backline, but rather on your front line, you need something else than a Brigade to really provide that pressure nowadays. So Cambridge taking that first map, maybe because Sussex just kind of gave it to them, but I'm obviously not gonna say that Sussex gave away stuff for free. I don't think anyone's throwing in this game. We're just gonna go to the next map after this, and I'm very, very interested to see what the next map's gonna be, how they're gonna handle that.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you 100%. Fixed on the Brig and staying on it through 3 maps. Maybe that's just just reminiscing a little bit hard, I guess. It's just simply not the same character. Can't do the same things. That's just reporting the news. Looking next, that was a control point. I do believe it'll be a hybrid or a payload next.
It looks like it's going to be Gibraltar, maybe? I'm payload, yeah. So
a little pure payload. How about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a pick on Gibraltar here from Sussex. So if that's definitely a possibility, it looks like we're just going to go to Gibraltar and have some fun on an escort map. And what Gibraltar has been a fun map for me. I mean, lately we've obviously had more fun on Gibraltar because the DPS have come back into the meta, so we see a lot more snipers. But I don't know if we're really going to see that right now because obviously we've just seen Cambridge play a lot of 3-3. Then Sussex sort of matched them in that department. And I would say that especially on a map like Gibraltar, you don't have to match them, especially with all the changes that came in. You don't have to. So going into Gibraltar here, I'm very interested to see if that's going to be. I mean, it's curious. I really don't know. Like it's a big question mark. I'm expecting Cambridge to run a 3-3, but for Sussex, they have not really shown a lot of 3-3 in the past, especially not the past few weeks. So, question marks once again.
I'm with it. Yeah, no. I would really, really love to see the dual snipers. I always mention on Gibraltar, but obviously right around first point, right above there. That Widowmaker looking back towards the first turn of the payload is one of the longest sightlines in Overwatch. Seriously, one of the hardest headshots, one of the hardest sniper shots you're going to be forced to have to hit is coming through here. So this really is a test in a lot of ways for your snipers, specifically your Widowmakers, if they so choose to use those compositions.
Yeah, you always see the Widowmakers put their hands on their cheeks and closing their eyes and kind of blushing and being like, oh, such a nice sight line. But then you still have to, obviously, like you said, hit the shots. And I mean, right now, we're just going to wait until they come out. Defenders come out of spawn first, obviously. So we're going to see if they're going to change anything up. Looks like right now they're actually teasing the... No, they're not teasing. I thought they were teasing the Ashe, but they're coming out with the same... Yeah, they're coming out with the same composition they did just now, which is very understandable because obviously they work for them. Whether Sussex is going to match it is still a question. It looks like they are, and this time they're going to mirror it, so not using the Brigitte anymore. Fix going to be on the Baptiste instead. Of course, they aren't out of spawn yet. They still have 10 seconds, but I mean, at this point, I'm kind of not really reluctant. I'm inclined to believe that's going to be true.
No, I hear what you're saying. The blue box hold is kind of passive, I would say. Like, once upon a time, blue box hold was considered almost like aggressive, but definitely not anymore, and definitely not for a Goat's composition, as that is going to be where they're set up now. Just raining down damage, trying to count up his ultimates off the rip. Of course, that 12% is just going to make things a little bit slower. Now we see Sussex kind of, yeah, they're now completely under bridge, and now Cambridge is coming. I honestly would have come a little bit sooner than that, but now that the invincibility frisbee going to come out there. Nano about 60% up to ultimate as Chambers leaves a charge up front, all the way away from payload to Sussex, and they're just playing Ring Around the Rosie in this building.
Back to the payload we go, and pushing it further. It's a very interesting way they did it, but they get fixed out of it.
Oh, Fixed falling immediately after dropping his ultimate, so that Baptiste ultimate gonna provide some advantage to his teammates, but no longer alive. Cookie's following Nano next, so Cog and Slizzard finding two quick ones there. Charge coming through as Chambers tries, but this is gonna be a Sussex team, no, sorry, a Cambridge team that is down 2 players already, and then with Nkindu dropping, I think we know the way this is going.
Yeah, and like I said, Sussex is all about the rotations, and once again, a very clever rotation. They yeah. See that Cambridge drops behind them. They run all the way back, all the way up to that.
All roads lead to the payload.
Basically, rig around back to the payload, and in the graph they are now, but Sound Barrier to counter it. There we go, Tugboat.
Oh, there's the counter grab, and there's a counter Transcendence. The Transcendence going to do a little bit better job than the Sound Barrier, of course. Fixes Invincibility Shield now gone. Not going to see that one for another 20 seconds. Self-destruct over the top. Oh, and everybody blocked off by that. Honestly, with the great positioning with his personal to block that damage off from Cog. Perfectly done as Fix does fall kind of off the side and left by himself, but now the Shatter falling. Cookie's doing his part again, but not going to be enough for Chambers. Shoot for the side of Success is going to be downfelled in the thick of things here, but mostly this is going to be a Cambridge W, Mana Class.
Yeah, definitely looking like it. They have the numbers, they have everything. They even have the resources to start up a fight again if they want to, but for now they're just going to clean everything up. It's been such a nice dynamic between these two teams where the grabs and the counter grabs and then the support ultimates, it's just good old Goats, but with a Baptiste instead of a Brigitte. And that Baptiste with the Immortality Field just introduces that next element. It's basically saying, you know, normally you have the Sound Barrier and the Transcendence and then, you know, and the Rally, but the Immortality Field is even more powerful doing stuff. The Zarya with the Amplification Matrix just does even more damage with those right clicks. It's such an interesting extra dynamic that they put on top of it that I'm almost sad now that we're getting 2-2-2 after this, but it's still fun to watch right now.
Yeah, fun to watch indeed as the eat comes through. Arc getting it done there as we see Cambridge really going to town, followed up with a shatter like that, and that's a picture-perfect play, Mana Class.
Very, very perfect. I mean, you eat the grab, and then you just do everything else. Yeah, they're all the small
doing bad things to them there inside. That is just that. Oh, and here comes the stagger of the century.
And because she literally can't get out. She cannot get out because it's just. There's a doorway and there's 4 tanks in the middle. Yeah.
The mercy killing by Arcturus there, they could have had, honestly, there's no environmental kill opportunity here. They could have taken that on for a while.
Yeah, they could have. But I mean, they see that it's good manners to not do that at some point. But right now we're gonna see Sussex try again, and they have not really that many resources to work with. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough for a while. They might have to take a dry fight here.
It is. Cambridge kind of with an odd angle here. Now the payload getting a little bit more direct. Fire strikes and more coming from down bottom. Sussex not trying to let these guys come down with full health. Grab coming down, the perfect position from Tau. Self-destruct in the back. That's going to only take out the invincibility shields from both sides. Both of these Baptistes playing out of their minds, and perfect counters as soon as they come. Cookie's going to be felled here. Yeah, that's going to be Sussex really going to town here. The Cog sound barrier really setting that one up. Cookies, on the other hand, dropped his and did not have the same effect, we'll say.
No, and most impressive thing, like you said, is that they only use the sound barrier to self-destruct for that one. So they rip so much left for the next push, and it doesn't even come in. They just get the checkpoint.
Yeah,
and they're
Chamber
just
definitely
clean
tried
it up.
on that, but yeah. Oh, yep.
Oh, that, you know what this reminds me of? That scene from 300 where they just push all the Spartans off the cliff. Oh, sorry, the Persians off the cliff. That was amazing. Wow.
Yeah. Now just reimagine that scene with what we saw earlier, with them just getting pushed in like a circle, like around back to where they need to be, and that would just be full circle. Just that would just be everything we needed in this map right here.
Yeah,
3 minutes to go here. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, there's a corner grab right there. Invincibility shield coming out from Nano. That's actually going to stay up longer than it really should have. That's Flux Up taking up that one because nobody was going to fall in the middle of that. Fix and Nano both don't have it for the next 15-20 seconds or so. Shanner coming through his Slizzard. Wanted to get out his Fire Strike. We've all been there before. That's going to be a Sussex team taking a lot of ill effect from that.
A lot of effect from that, and you would think that with all those resources they would have been able to push even further, but they sort of had the same fight that Cambridge had before they got to point 2, where they had a lot of resources and they invested a lot of them, but they couldn't actually push it through. They still have quite a bit left, but so does Cambridge, so it's a little bit of even footing now, and Sussex will have to win a fight on merit.
Yeah, just the Baptiste ultimate for the side of Cambridge. Early invincibility shield that is hidden decently here. That's fluxed up now. Flux Up was trying to get up there, but Nano... Oh, okay. So we have a self-destruct over the top, in the middle of everything. Flux Up trying to flip that one around, but as he's doing it, half of his team falls. Hate to see it.
Yeah, you would say you hate to see it, but if you're Cambridge, you're not sad about this at all. It's amazing. You have 2 support ultimates, you have 2 tank ultimates. The only things you don't have are your Shatter and your Implication Matrix. We know how quickly Baptiste charges that up. They do have to fight a lot to fight into, and that's the first one.
There's the grab, there's the trans invincibility shield up top, so there's gonna be a couple different steps here for Sussex to take ticks on that as Chambers does follow charge out of that one. Self-destruct over in the back, mostly gonna be used for a remake as we see Sussex members flowing like flies everywhere around this payload. And Kindu, Nano down, no support available for Cambridge, and the rest of the team does fall.
Cambridge finally being toppled by Sussex once again. Minute 15 left, so they still have a little bit pressed for time to actually make it. They might need even one more fight and then some stall, but that all depends on how quickly Cambridge engages, and they have the sound barrier to at least get out of spawn if they need to.
Stall is the name of the game for Baptiste. We'll really see how this goes. Nano trying to get that one done. Does put out his window pane, but gonna fall immediately afterwards. Shatter falling, but it's only gonna be in Kindu taken out in that one. Slayers are getting very aggressive and taking value from it as Arcturus is gonna be the next on the chopping block on this one. Cookies is really just trying to get on here and stall payload out, but shots in the back and more from Cog and Fix gonna take him out of this one. Shoo getting his own in here as that's just gonna be Chamber on point. Grab coming out, so the Shatter did a little bit there, but we had to see Tao get onto point to be able to stall that one out. 32 seconds for the side of Sussex.
Yeah, and it looked like they're really on a roll to definitely get it to the end there, but I will say Cambridge did a very good job of stalling out the clock as long as they did, because after that first point, it looked like they were already on a bit of a roll. But then on second, they had a few fights. On third, they had a few fights. So you really drained the clock down properly with that. And that's obviously what Goats has always been good at doing, is the 3-3 composition, have a lot of bodies. And I would say with Baptiste, that's actually become worse. So with it's more healing, it's the mortality field, it's more damage if you want it. It's just a lot of things that you don't really want to deal with when you attack a composition and when you try to get through an escort map.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it earlier, right? Baptiste is just a whole different level of stall. He got his window pane comes out, doubles healing, the invincibility thing as an ability coming out every, I think, 18, 20 seconds, something like that. Stall's the name of the game for him.
It really is. So what we're going to see on the defense here is not really a surprise to me. The problem though that I do
But
see is
fix,
that
yeah.
once again it's fixed on the beginning. Yeah, you're already saying it. I mean, it's gonna be the repetitive thing until they don't do it. But no, fix might have heard me. No, just in his head. He's heard.
There you
He
go.
hears just telepathically. I'm just like, fix.
There you
Don't
go.
don't go on Brigitte. Don't go on Brigitte. And they
What
might have
wood
just
made
done
of
it to mess
glass
with
too?
me. They might have just been messing with me. They might have just like, oh yeah, we
That's
wanted to
fair.
say it again. We wanted to say it again, so we're just gonna pick it and spawn and then swap. So he's on the Baptiste once again. We're gonna see a
Watch
mirror
it. We'll
match.
get this guy to say Fix needs to not play Brig again.
Exactly. Here they come out of spawn. It's mirrors on Gibraltar, guys. It's 3-3.
Yeah, and Sussex with a super aggressive hold on this one, and Kindu falling first. That invincibility shield isn't going to go do nothing when nobody is in the middle of it, and that's Cookies and Tao trying to get back, and now answering with their own invincibility shield, and Fixed and company making sure they take 2 early picks and wasting, what, 30 seconds? We have, Reinhardt 45% ultimate.
45% ultimate. That looks nice, but not that much charge on either Baptiste. You would think there would be a little bit more, but that fight went so quickly that the health has not really been charging up. There goes Nano. Look at that. 70% already.
Yeah, man, those balls he shoots in for healing is just gonna be so big, especially inside, like you said. Now his window ping coming out, damage coming through there, gonna get amplified up as Slides or Chamber trying to get it there. Oh, block the shatter, nicely done. That's Slides falling immediately afterwards. The invincibility shield doing what it needs to for the side of Cambridge. Lots of Sussex players falling.
Lots of Sussex players fallen, and they finally get to start pushing the payload. But that's over a minute of stall. I mean, that's just insane. Like honestly,
Yeah.
if you are Sussex, yes, you might have lost the fight. Yes, you might be a little bit down on ultimates now, but you've drained a minute and a half of the clock before they even get down into this car wash phase of the map, and you get another at least one, maybe even 2 fights before they potentially get the checkpoint.
I mean, hey, C9 is a term because Overwatch is not necessarily about the kills, about the objective. And like you said, Cambridge coming up on 4 ultimates now. Sussex a little bit close to some of theirs, but Slicer does not have that shatter. Is not going to get it anytime soon. Window ping coming out as the shatter lands on destruct over the back. Does take out 2 big ones here. All the support in the world deleted against the side of Sussex, and Cambridge keeps a rolling.
Another 30 seconds off the clock, and I think they might get another defense here. Cog was a little bit late of a stagger, so he won't be there to speed them to the point. But they still, I mean, both of them not really using that many resources. Only a shatter and a bomb there. They do make it. Yeah, okay. Payload's a little bit quicker when you have 3 people on it.
Yep.
Still,
2.5 minutes is their reward. So going up to 4 minutes 10, and now we see Cambridge getting aggressive because why not? They have 4 ultimates on board. Didn't use anything but the self-destruct on the last, or excuse me, the shattered self-destruct on the last one. Now Thano coming out for them. Grav coming out and is right on the other side. Chambers falling first. No Reinhardt shield for them as they're answered with their own Grav. Oh, there you go. That's Sussex taking that, and that's what happens when your Reinhardt shield falls first, my friends.
Yeah, and I mean, the Sussex kind of needed to win a fight at some point with all those ultimates they had, so very nice that they did that and that they managed to make that happen. They did not even drain all of their ult bank, and they also dragged some ultimates out of Cambridge here. So this could be the start of a very aggressive hold with that door closed. A lot of small chokes they have to get through.
Again, I would say that is a Sussex team coming out on top in spades. Wasting a lot of time, wasting ultimates from the other side, and not using a whole lot of your own. Now they're looking at 2 ultimates for the side of Sussex, the self-destruct and the shatter. Also have the trans, and they're going to have that window pane any second. Fixed and company now falling down, flowing in like water, forcing out the transcendence from Kindu, as is Shubovaz. Now self-destruct over the top, and I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. No, it does take out both invincibility shields as Shatter does land, but doesn't get too many people. A great job by Slicer blocking that one again as Chambers, and more do fall. Cambridge losing this one after a long team fight minute class in about the space of a second and a half.
Yeah, they do expend a little bit more resources than Cambridge did. So Cambridge will come back in with a relatively strong ultimate advantage. I don't think only a sound barrier that Cock doesn't even have yet will be able to save them from it. But once again, it's just dragging out the clock. They're now holding on this high ground. They can drop on them without really taking any damage beforehand. It's going to be a great position, and Sussex been showing great positioning all night already.
Seriously, being up here, I mean, you said it all right there. They're forcing the other team onto payload, and then once they're down there, they can pick and choose their time. Now is that time, though. Sussex does come down, Pain coming out, but Chamber kind of left in the lurch. Instantly, the invincibility shield comes out, but Fix does not last long on that. Self-destruct, mostly going to be used for a remake here, as the grab does come out and give every tank except for the Zarya right there in the middle, and Arcturus trying to get involved. Shushu now with the Transcendence going to make sure that Sussex wins this one again.
Yeah, and the only positive thing that comes out of that for Cambridge really is that they get the payload almost to the checkpoint. So this could be a one-fight win for the point now, where it would have been two if they'd lost it in another position. So Sussex, I don't think they can get back to the high ground, but at least iFluxed Up is in there. And I mean, they have the ultimates to work with, so it's going to be a rough one again for Cambridge. They'll definitely get at least 2 more fights, even as long as they have gone. But I would say they really have to get it on this push, because otherwise they're going to be really pressed for time on third.
Yeah, and they have to get at least some of these ultimates. If even a couple dropped incorrectly, might spell the difference between victory and defeat here. Now pushing on a little bit, they're trying to continue on to the progress they had just a second ago. Invincibility shield in the back as we see Fluxed Up now answering down bottom, but that Diva Mech is not going to last long on their own as the real action going on the back. A huge shatter at the side of Cambridge tries to come back and get all over it, and that is going to be the back cap. That shatter don't matter.
It's the exact same situation that happened in the last fight, where they just don't get to the payload. They just fight somewhere else, and they just have it backhat by Tau Neutrino, who does a great job of that. Sure, the defense is still getting to Zarya here, which is the good thing, but they're not in a position to have a full fight. So if they get chased down, that could be problematic. With that charge, they're fighting straight away, and Chamber just falls for that. Yeah, this is going to be the end of a fight for now, but good job getting that back cap. And now they actually have quite some time to work with, and some resources coming up as well, so they could even match the time or beat it.
Yeah, 32 seconds, 1 minute 45 now. You know, the back cap a minute ago, the Cambridge was able to, or no, excuse me, Sussex was able to get there, but self-destruct taking out just the invincibility shield, as we've seen a lot here. Slicer getting all the damage in the world against him, trying to swing, not put up that shield, and here's the Transcendence now, and Kindu making sure everybody's gravy train. Cookies with the sound barrier, but that's already gone. Getting super aggressive, and Cambridge lays him down left and right without that Slicer Reinhardt shield. 1 minute, 18 seconds now, as all the fire in the world is coming through this right spawn doorway. I would not be surprised if Sussex does get that Lucio back up and go back around the others.
No,
okay, no, they're coming out swinging.
Enough.
Yeah, and now there's a sound barrier for Icog, making sure that his team's gonna be okay for the time being, but Chamber's getting super low here and just getting absolutely berated. Shatter does land. Slizer knows he's gonna be able to get away with that one without the Reinhardt shield and charge and more. Sussex has stabilized.
Sussex has stabilized, but I mean, they could still match it there. They got the payload into one fight range, really. Oh, the Lucio's behind them. Is he gonna back up? Now, Shushu is on the card, but with a good boop, you could maybe get it there. I don't know if they know if he's there. I don't think they do. But this is a 5v5 fight in that case. Although Yada can do more from that range.
Now the members of Sussex backing up as the payload does creep back into them. And I'm not sure if Cookie's flank here is going to be worth it. Self-destruct coming over the top. He is in the back, now joining the rest of his team. That's going to take out the Fluxed Up Diva Mech, and that grab might be the end of them. Everybody in Cambridge gets there and gets there quick and deletes every member of Sussex. Now we're going to see Cambridge taking this more importantly with time.
And we've seen such a close series already, where Busan went to a 2-1. This is going to go to second rounds on Gibraltar with times that are very close together as well. I really don't know where this is gonna go. And that last play from Cookies, I mean, we saw him behind. He was like, oh, maybe he's gonna C9 it, just back up the payload. But he doesn't even have only that role. He doesn't speed his team into the fight, but he's able to boop the side of Sussex to the side a little bit while that self-destruct is landing. And I think that's the reason why they got the Diva Mech in the end and because it didn't only get an immortality field. So Cookie's still showing up big, coming from an unexpected angle because it didn't know he was there. And that's just a heads up Lucio play. Because it's either you get the back cap or you just do something with the boop that can also work. And you don't need to be with your team because the speed is not that important anymore.
No, I'm with it, especially after the speed nerfs. But I mean, Fluxed Up, that's the one character you can need to grab here. Tal knew that, and as soon as that Diva Mech comes out, that just opens up the entire team to a grab. Literally every member of Cambridge got there instantly, poured in damage, and again, we saw an entire Sussex team following the space about 3/4 of a second.
Yeah, now they're gonna defend with the same thing. No surprises here, guys. It's like we're in Overwatch League Stage 1 again. We just know exactly what's gonna happen. It's not a problem though, because that makes it a lot more fun to look at these intricate microplays that are being made, like Cookie's boobs.
Yeah, that's members of Cambridge coming around predicting their position here. Chambers up in the front, swinging away in this enclosed space here as the invincibility shield comes out from both sides, it looks like. Cookie's falling on that one. Big boop! Okay, so Cog comes out in fine form, getting 2 on that one as Slizer and Chambers both falling, so defense mostly going to be losing this one. Or excuse me, defense mostly be winning this one.
Yeah, they're definitely winning that one, and Sussex doing the same thing they did last time on their defense. Just holding very aggressively, making sure that payload goes nowhere so they have an easier time with their own attack. They're backing up a little bit now because they obviously lost their Reinhardt, but Slizzard is almost back so they can just fight on this corner now, and that's also a pretty good position to fight in.
So look, so Chambers with Shatter, but fixed with that Baptiste ultimate. Interesting comparisons here as we see Sussex trying to go down bottom, utilize this hidey hole down bottom. Shatter landing because Slizer wasn't up front. Members of Sussex now falling, 3 of them, 2 tanks and a support, and that's going to be a Cambridge team is going to get a little bit more progress on this.
And you really see just the difference in immortality field timing and ult usage. It's just it's a very small thing, but throwing the immortality field out 1 second earlier or later basically allows Slizzard, or well, doesn't allow Slizzard to get into the position that he wants to be to potentially block that shatter. So they're gonna come out once again now. They'll have their own shatter, and that's probably everything that's gonna be used.
Lots of ultimates now dropping as the payload did get there because we saw a tall grab to end the ages. Perfect transcendence here as well, but it's not going to be enough for Slizer. Self-destruct in the back is going to take out Cognado, but it'll get away from the rest of these because we're in overtime now here, folks. This Zarya, that Baptiste get taken out and beaten in the streets.
Yeah, and right now Cambridge is looking so good. They had a minute and they're already pushing halfway through second. It's not a lot of time, and as soon as they get off the payload, they're basically done. And there's so many things you can do as Sussex to just say, you know what, we just play a May, we freeze everything on the card, and we win, or anything like that. But yeah, they're choosing to go in this matchup. They want to have more fun that way, I think. And I mean, it's still a fun game to watch, and we're gonna have another big ultimate clash.
Well, I'm with it now. Here comes Baptiste ultimate. Answering is Chamber Jr. gets it done again with a shatter for the ages. Slicer is going to be the only one who falls in that one. And the answer so far for Sussex is not enough. Cog down. Odyssey now left out in Lurch. His diva actually is there. So this is a Sussex team mostly getting it done. And Tao with another grab off point to make sure that Sussex cannot contest.
It is so impossible to watch. It really feels like, well, like I said, like these early Overwatch League games from this year, where it's just these GOATs matchups that keep hammering into each other. And momentum on Gibraltar has always been a thing, but it feels almost surreal the way they're pushing right now. We've barely been going for 2 minutes, and they're already running into third here. This is record time. If they had a proper time bank, we would be able to see how fast this was.
Self-destruct coming in the back. I think that might be getting Shu. No, he's able to... just barely take the corner on that one. Fixed. Slizer now down. Offense getting very aggressive as we see this payload coming into the last little bit. They're forced out to this one window, and we just saw a Cambridge team push this the entirety of the way in overtime from point 1 without any more time added on there.
Yeah, no more time. I mean, obviously they'll get another minute, I think, if Sussex makes it.
Next round, yeah.
But Sussex has to make it to the end, and they have a minute and a half. And I mean, you would think, okay, they have more time, so they'll be able to do more with it. But I mean, a minute and a half gets you about to point A, and then you're in overtime. So it would be just as impressive if Sussex makes it to the end, as impressive as it was for Cambridge to make it to the end. So. Yeah, I really don't know. It's all this momentum suddenly comes out from Cambridge, and I keep questioning. Like, in my head, I'm consistently questioning why Sussex is running GOATs. It might just be a gentleman's agreement, because I know they've been playing so much other stuff lately, and I'm pretty sure they have not necessarily been preparing for this, because no one's scrimming GOATs anymore. No one is, because it's not the meta. No tournaments running it. It's just over. So. I once again, it just keeps going in my head. So I'm going to try to not focusing on it as much as more. At least they swapped off the pre-kits, so that's something they've done. So let me just be happy with that. And it's going to be an equally aggressive hold here from Cambridge. And of course they know If they win one fight after that 1.5 minute ends, they're done. They've won the map. They're up 2 in the series. But perhaps we can see a 1-1 tie-up still. It's Gibraltar. Anything can happen.
This is Gibraltar, and this is Overwatch, my man. Anything can happen. Sussex all over point here, as he said. Cambridge going with a decently aggressive hold. Invincibility shield coming out from them allows them to get aggressive. Now, Tau left out in the lurch and is going to fall there. Arcturus falling on this one, and we see the offense just really going to town here.
Yeah, they really are, and they were allowed to even lose like 1 or 2 fights here on this first point because they have the time to do so. But they're not even going to go for that. They want to get that ult bank going. They want to start the momentum up. And I mean, that first kill on the Zarya is so important. No more bubbles. A lot of your damage is missing at that point. So that was really something they really needed on the side of Sussex. I'm impressed with how they did it, but I wasn't impressed with Cambridge before, and they kept rolling through the end. So it's still possible, and the high ground defense is going to come in here now.
Indeed, yeah, this will make for a Cambridge team that can just drop down when they so choose. Slizer and Fixed on the side of Sussex, though, both with ultimate. Fluxed up going to have that self-destruct soon as payload does roll in. Sussex needs to drop down, or excuse me, Cambridge needs to drop down soon. And here they come with 3.5 meters to go. Both Baptiste ultimates coming out as Chambers getting just absolutely battered in the middle. Nano now down with no invincibility shield. Chambers does fall. Fix is not going to have his either, as Tau now falling. Fluxed and more getting super aggressive with this one. It's just up to Nano and Cookies. Not sure how much longer they're going to last. Yep, there's only so much that one Lucio, one Baptiste can do against 6 Goats members.
And it was a very nice high ground position from Nano there. Could throw the Immortality Field, the Amplification Matrix in very easy positions because they could see where the enemy was. But Sussex really reacted nicely to the positions of that Matrix and that field. I get a lot of few stagger kills here, but that's not surprising. I mean, the fight dragged on for long enough that you got stagger spawns, and that's just how Gibraltar works at this point. Even if you run dive, you rarely get away. So, yeah, getting back to that Nano position, that was really nice, but Sussex just really rotated around it properly. And I keep saying it because Sussex is doing it really well, but their rotations is mostly what's winning them these fights. It's just better.
I hear you. Chambers falling down first there. I thought that might have ended up poorly for him. No invincibility shields to be had as both grabs, both transcendences do come here. Shushu and Kanu not going to have those as Tau falls first. Nice shatter, but that sound barrier going to make sure that Sussex is at least decent through this. Sound destruct coming out. Kindus and Cookies both falling, so Cambridge looks like they're going to be losing this one again.
And they are, but it's the same story that we saw in the previous round, where the team that has momentum will also usually have the better ult rotations. And as long as Cambridge keeps using their ultimates to start trying and win a fight, and they're losing those fights, they're never getting into a position where they're really dominant. They're gonna push the Persians off the cliff now. It's the same story as we saw in the last attack round. And they're going into third. We might get another completion. We might get a 6-6 on Gibraltar and going into third innings, guys. It's looking insane here, but their ult economy definitely looking like it's possible. And they're going into their spawn now, Tugboat.
Oh my, yeah. Tau again gets picked a little bit early, man. You just can't get that aggressive when you know that this team is willing to get send you back to spawn, excuse me. So now 6 members of Sussex all over point here. We're looking at a Cambridge team without their Zarya here in overtime as payload rounding the last little bit. Baptiste ultimate coming out for the side. Fix trying to make the most of that one as the shatter comes out but doesn't really get a whole lot done with it. Fix trying to keep his team up with that invincibility, and there's the shatter for the ages as Slizer gets him that one, but instantly they're answered with their own shatter. Odyssey with the grab out, but not going to get anything from that one. Self-destruct coming out and only going to take out a lot of Chambers' shield here, and there's Arcturus with his self-destruct of his own. This is Sussex playing off the back foot without 2 of their healers. Shushu is just it. Chambers falling on that and come off a point. Oh my, and that's Cambridge taking in the end. Okay, so Sussex wasn't able to stay all the way on there.
I was so close there, and I think the big difference there is Slizer going down, because both self-destructs could have gotten a lot, but because Slizer isn't there with that shield, he can't defend against it, while Chamber was there with the shield. It's this exact play you're going to be seeing coming in the end, which is Arcturus throws out the self-destruct, and then, I just said it in the previous round, but it's a very similar play that happened then. It was amazing. I honestly, that round, it's just, again, it's just a perfect end to the Goats meta that we're seeing here. This might just be the last stand of Ghosts that we're watching here, and it's beautiful. Both these teams played in an amazing, amazing fashion. And it's just, this is what GOATS could have been had we gone to this patch with no roll lock. It
Yep.
definitely what it could have been. So I'm looking forward to not having it, but I'm also a little bit sad, sort of, that we're not going to be able to see the possibility of it ever again.
No, I hear you. Yeah, goats with Baptiste and everything else. But now we see Caber's taking that one. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute. We're going to take a short break, let players prepare, and casters prepare as well.
Yeah, obviously. And
Drinking and smoking yourself, don't even wanna try. Make room for somebody else. Oh, I just wanna hide out from under all these indecisions. Oh, make room for somebody else. Circling the edge, way up high. Don't I find have a useful alibi? Gone too far to stop. Yeah, I tried. Flying, crashing, looking for a perfect suicide. Circling the edge.
I wake up early, I sleep alone. I try to find love from a stranger on my phone. My vision blurry, so I forget. Dying to hold you, but you left me here for dead. How could I do what I've done if I'm in love? You know I did what I did, you loaded the gun. Don't wanna think about you anyway. I do it anyway. Yeah, didn't mean to do it every day. I do it anyway. I do it anyway. I do it anyway. Don't wanna think about you anyway. I do it anyway. I do it anyway. Messing with monsters up in my head. Lie to myself, lying beside her in my bed. Paint over pictures you left behind. I'd punch the walls if it would make you change your mind. How could I do what I've done if I'm in love? You know I did what I did, you loaded the gun.
And we are back here, Overwatch fans, with the NUEL semifinals. We got Cambridge up 2-0 against Sussex. Quick shout out here to our sponsors, Twitch Student, Republic of Gamers, and Intel. You can connect with all of them on our Discord, discord.com/GG, or no, discord.gg/the NUEL, the THENUEL. Is that correct, Maniclass?
That is definitely correct. And obviously, check them out. Join us in our Discord if you're not in there yet. Link should be underneath your Twitch panel, so you could definitely check that out. Always lovely to have you if you're supporting any of your uni teams. If you have a new uni team that hasn't joined in yet, just come in. Just we're always happy to have you. More teams, the better.
There you go.
And this is not the last edition of the Campus Clash that's happening for sure. I can tell you that much. So right now,
Absolutely not.
we're in a lovely series between Cambridge T and the Sussex Sharks. We've seen a lot of 3-3. Cambridge is up 2-0. It's a great series, but it can still be turned around. It's a best of 5. We're not done yet until the one of the teams manages to pull off that win. And I mean, it could be the last map. It could be. It could very well be the last map. And I think so if we draw this one on Anubis, I think we're actually still going to go to a map 5 if then Sussex manages to win 2, because it's best of 5, obviously. But not entirely sure. Let's hope we just don't get into the situation. I don't like draws, even though it tells you that it's a close series. I just like to see wins on assault maps, and that's why we're going to go into Anubis now.
Interesting stuff here, because Sussex. Now, obviously, I'm not 100% sure who picked this map. Believe it is losers. Not 100% sure. Might be a set map pool. But Sussex, one of their interesting facts on there was that they hate Temple of Anubis. Not about it.
Oh, you know what? It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. It could just be the lesser 3 evils. They might not like Anubis, but they might have turned around it. They come to like it a little bit more since others were added to the map pool, or since the meta has changed a little bit, because now it's obviously more of a 2-2-2 meta that's going to come in. So it's all about which maps have you practiced a lot, which map didn't you like before, and certain meta changes can really open up new hero possibilities that you didn't have before, and that's why you might like them a bit more. So for now, going into Temple of Anubis, it's all an open playing field. The one thing that is, again, going to be a big question mark is, are we going to see the mirror 3-3? And for now on the defense, I'm not sure whether we're going to see that. It's still Cambridge in the blue, so they're going to be defending first. And for now, it looks like they're going to be running out with the same old 3-3 they've been showing us all series. The Baptiste, not the Brigitte, because of course Brigitte has not really seen the same value that she used to before in a 3-3 composition. So for now, that's what they're going to run out with. Looks like we're going to see the same from the attack, maybe with the Brigitte fixed, but we know what they think. We know how it goes. Fixed, he likes to tease that Brigitte. Did it a little bit on the first map, and has been on Baptiste ever since. Are they going to run out with it? I think they are, Tugboat.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we can definitely agree there on that mana class, that just the Baptiste is just objectively a better play on here. The invincibility shield just does more for your tanks, and that ultimate does more for everybody. Just not the same place she was. 3 minutes 40 seconds here. Chambers up in the. I'm sorry.
They went in. They're in. They're fighting.
Yeah.
They're doing
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. Yeah. Sussex here is trying to swing away as the invincibility shield does come out for the side of Nano and Moore. Those swings and Moore getting that one deleted though, so Slazard and company going to be a pretty good position. Slazard already has Shatter. Flux getting very aggressive here, taking a lot of damage, but he's going to be A-okay as the Nano Baptiste ultimate, that's confusing, comes out here and sets up Cambridge, able to push all the way in here as Slazard and Moore trying up in the front. That's going to help out a Chamber getting very, very low. He's already 98%, now has Shatter himself, so both these Ryans have it, just kind of waiting for them to use it. Grab coming out against the wall, and these two teams right up next to each other. They can hug each other, and King do Chamber, Cookies all falling, and Cambridge losing this initial team fight.
Amazing stuff. Just two amplification matrix that came out from Nano there in that one fight. It's just, it charges so fast, and we've had an ultimate cost reduction, people. 12% reduction, and he still charges 2 within that fight. It's insane, and that's a large part of why Baptiste is so good right now, because he does the same AoE healing job that Brigitte used to do, but it just charges quicker, and the ultimate is maybe not better, but it just charges so quick and does so much healing.
Yeah, I mean, that projectile really does get it done. It's a big burst healing, comes pretty fast. Grab coming in the back, self-destruct right in the middle of it. Both of them coming out here, and Fluxed up takes another 4-piece. This guy eating members of Cambridge for breakfast. That's going to be a Sussex team all over point, like they were born here, and taking this with 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Arcturus charging on
remember-
over to the Hammond. That doesn't even matter. Oh my goodness.
Wait, I'm 4 minutes. So wait, they took. Yeah, I was gonna say that almost doesn't add up, but of course they took it in about 2 minutes 40 left. So they took they spent about 40 seconds capping point B. That's how
Oh,
quick
yeah.
that went, guys. About 40 seconds. Because
Yeah.
you remember when Blizzard changed the rules for assault, so you got a minute less for B, and the assault, the defense spawned straight away, so
Yeah.
you shouldn't have that snowball potential anymore. Well, didn't quite work, did it? That was just amazing.
I mean, when Flux gets these pinball self-destruct
Yeah.
kills like that, I mean,
I don't
he
know.
got 5 a little while ago. Obviously, you don't need all 5.
Four
4
again.
right there gets it done, and that just makes mincemeat of the rest of the team. When you're able to get self-destructs like that, that's going to equal, like you say, a 5-minute time clock on Temple of Anubis.
Yeah, it's insane. It's unheard of, really. I don't think we've seen that
yeah.
time bank since the change in any proper competitive matchups. Since the change, really. We are gonna see just the same compositions, and it was so interesting that Fixed make that brigade work. It just amazing. I don't know. Like this time they're proving me wrong that she's working. I don't know if she's gonna be as good on the defense, but on the attack it worked wonders. So they might have turned some stuff around because we saw very close matchup on the past two maps, and this just looked dominating on the attack. But who knows? Once again, the defense could just fall apart straight away.
It is entirely possible. You know, Brig does have that stun that Baptiste does not. It might have been really the deciding factor on that last. Cambridge now pushing all the way in. A very tall order ahead of them. 3 minutes 45 of the clock, but again, they're going up against 5. Positioning around, rotations coming in here. They're heading for high ground now. Every member all together, getting protected away by that Chamber Reinhardt shield. Tao's going to be utilizing these projectiles, bubbles and everything else in a minute. Try and get his lasers up. Again, both teams just kind of posturing around here, trying to get as much damage as they can to the side of Cambridge before they do decide to drop down here. Sussex coming all the way back, bunkering down, doesn't want to expose themselves unnecessarily. And Cambridge really needs to get in here soon. They, yeah, there you go. Now one member down, Arcturus on the Diva. That's the member. And now forcing out like a turtle is Sussex. Got a little bit of progress on that one, but Arcturus coming all the way back up here. Nice boot by Diva and pushes Chambers down bottom and sets him getting grinded up like mincemeat here very, very quickly. The rest of Cambridge forced all the way down except for Nkindu on that Zenyatta. He is content and comfortable shooting away and getting a lot of value with it as the first tick does approach pretty quickly for Cambridge. Tao getting very low, but that grab is going to set up a couple kills against the side of Sussex. Counter grab coming through, and I'm sure that Odyssey would have wished he could have had that one back.
As virtually the same time on point A, they took a little bit to set up there, but as soon as Slizzard went down on that Reinhardt, they had that fight won. Because then you have the spawn advantage, and if Sussex doesn't get the kills, they will never get back into that and win that fight out. So nice trade on the Reinhardts there, and now they're going to run into B. Don't have to grab anymore, though.
Yeah, Arcturus just needs to get a 4K like Fluxtup did a second ago. That Baptiste ultimate coming all the way out here. Transcendence being answered by Nkindu to try and help out Chambers in the back. Here comes the self-destruct, but it's not going to have the best positioning necessarily. Both sound bears, oh, now dropping, excuse me, as the rest of Cambridge trying to get in on here. Slicer is the eye of the affection of all these members as the boops trying to come in. That is Cog trying to section out members. I think that did connect against Chambers and set up his death, unfortunately. 4 minutes 55 seconds as Sussex forcing out Cambridge.
Yeah, nicely done. Sussex just holding them off, and now every second they drain off the clock is a second in their advantage because they're already ahead in time bank right now. Nano getting picked early. That's gonna even drain a little bit more because that's the healing source they really want on the side of Cambridge. And like you said, they kind of needed that big play of the self-destruct or a graviton or something like that in order to break that point B open straight away. And they just couldn't make it happen. The self-destruct came in a very unfavorable position for the attackers. And Cambridge is now going to try again. They close to the graviton, but there's so much to work with for the defense as well.
Yeah, honestly, about 96. He's going to have that one any second. Defense is very well set up here as we see the offense. Cambridge rotating around again, showing a penchant for that one. Yet again, as Cog coming back to join the rest of his team, that Lucio up top might get it done, but Slicer getting absolutely melted instantly without the rest of his team. Not 100% sure what that one is about as we see Grab coming out. That's Sussex answering instantly with the Transcendence to make sure that everybody's gravy through that one. Fixed with the Brigette ult and going to be putting armor on everybody. Not as fast as earlier as Chambers does fall. Grab coming out of their own, and Transcendence answering for Sussex, and this defense has fended off the offense yet again.
Yeah, Slider coming back was really the thing that turned that back around. Just comes back in, gets a shatter, gets some kills with a fire strike. It's just amazing. Though they lose a Reinhardt early, you think, okay, that fight is definitely going to go for Cambridge because every time Slider goes down, they're in trouble on the side of Sussex. But he just comes back, and they managed to sustain, and that's really all they needed to do. As long as you sustain until your respawns are back, you're in a favorable position because it's 2 CP, so you have those respawn advantages.
Yeah, I mean, and sustain is definitely there. I think Fix really did help with that one. Obviously, the Brig has been up and down so far on this one, but that was a lot of up. Really, really helped out this team. Self-destruct coming over, kind of pinball action against that wall. Is going to take out Cog there. He's not able to get away from that one as Cookies. The other Lucio does drop the barrier. That's going to set up a fixed kill as well as Slizer again getting all the attention in the world here. Swinging away for him is forcing members of Cambridge back towards that invincibility shield. Here's the Baptiste ult, and that's going to set up. You turn that corner, just get blasted in the face. You hate to see it. Sussex trying to get back and through here. South, the Lucio is there, but the shadow landing isn't going to get Cog, but the headshots by Nkindu and more are. 2 minutes 30 seconds to go as the self-destruct does come out, and that's not there, only the mech.
Yeah, self-destruct doesn't really contest anything. It's just the diva that does. And she's 150 HP at that point, so she doesn't really live. At least not that long against the Reinhardt hammer.
That would be broken. That'd be so broken if the
that would be so weird.
As well,
yeah,
right?
and we are getting a 2.5 minute time bank here from Cambridge. So they took less than that to take point A last time, but they definitely don't have the same amount of time to get point A and B this time around. You get 7 minutes total now. If they spend about 4.5 last time, they have 2.5 now. They need to have a little bit of a stronger attack this time around, and I'm pretty sure they can do it. They definitely can. It's especially their rotation towards B. Their A attack was fine. They have enough time for their last A attack. It's all going to be about that B point. How well can they rotate into that and just snowball it through? Because Sussex can do it twice with the time they have left, as long as they spent last time, and then still have time left over because they did it in 1 minute 56 last time around, and they have 5 minutes. Well, do the math. You'll have time left. You'll have time left.
I understand what you're saying. No, I mean, like you just said, 5 minutes is enough. There's enough time to play 2 Temple of Anubis games. What we've seen so far tonight is both of these teams just really showing a penchant for offense, right? Defensive holds have just really not been nearly as prevalent as these super aggressive, hyper active offensive pushes. Straight up.
Big difference in that is the old rotation that the 3-3 offers. It's so much more momentum based and able to hold on to that momentum than a 2-2-2 composition in any form is. But that's really why you're seeing that happen.
Cambridge trying to rotate around, but Sussex taking the bait here. Invincibility shield is going to save most of the members of Cambridge on that one as Sussex now opts to pull back, go back 2 points, and go on that boop on Akendo might have forced him down and into certain death, not by environmental, but by a 6-stack of Sussex players. Nice boop by there. Flux is right there with them to make sure the members of Cambridge go where they want to. Tile now taking out 2 on this one, as no shields will be present for the side of Sussex. They're making great progress on this one, and I do not think that Sussex will be able to come back and stabilize on this one.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not happening this time around, and they're coming in with some good ultimates as well. Like I just said, Goats with the ultimate rotation, the power level of all those ultimates, it's just such a good composition to keep snowballing into the next objective. And with 3 or 4 coming up, it's going to be a very hard one for Sussex to hold. The closest they have is a grab, and that's not really that close, especially with the low charge Zarya.
Yeah, Odyssey is going to have to pump up these shields and pump up these lasers, and pump it up fast to be able to get to that ultimate quickly. 80%, and actually that's a great start on that one. Shatter falling, but Slizer does get that entirely blocked off in the Zarya grab. He remained for a while, but got that one off, but members of Sussex falling, and trying to answer with a grab here is Sussex, and trying to get members in there. Now that's Nkindu with the Transcendence, going to block off some of the damage, and we see a very well-coordinated Cambridge team here. And as I say that, the charge barely missing Slizer, but that doesn't matter. Octurus and more for the side of Cambridge, making mincemeat of that tank. Self-destruct coming out, does take out Odyssey, doesn't have the personal for his own, and we see Sussex scrambling to get back to point here. That's Fluxed Up, who's not going to last very long. Baby DV here, and now Slizer trying to get involved himself and contest this away. Now the that Brig ultimate, Fixed coming out to try and get what he can done. Shu with the Transcendence, contesting this out, stalling as best he can, but Odyssey again kind of going off by himself and getting taken out for it. Fixed falling here as the Zenyatta and the Lucio turn to the attention, and Kendu falling, Cog actually getting a kill on that one, and that's going to be Nano mostly left. Sussex all over this one and trying to get back, but I'm not sure how well this is going to work here, Mana Class.
They got quite a few picks here, so they could definitely do it. They can at least stall it to overtime with the amount of members they have, and the DPS is basically gone here for the attackers. It looks like Sussex might actually hold on here.
Cookies with that sound barrier is going to continue this one on for a little while longer as we hit the 5-second mark. Slizer on over to that Hammond is going to be a great decision. Nano getting knocked down, but he'll be back up with his vertical ability as we see Chamber not being able to come off this for even half a second. Now the grab coming out. This might be it for Sussex. No, they push out Arcturus and more. Cambridge not able to finish this one up.
A nice counter grab from Odyssey, kind of doing the same thing that Cambridge did to them on the side on Gibraltar.
On Gibraltar,
they just
yeah.
deny them the objective. 79.7%, definitely nothing to sniff at when you are Cambridge. But with 5 minutes and 4 seconds and the aggressive speed that they took out last time, I do feel that Sussex is a good chance to take this map, and they need to, because if they don't, they lose the series. But I mean, are they going to get another miracle play that they got from iFlux up last time? Because if you don't get that 4K with a D.Va, you need another tool in order to get that second point win. And it's one of those things that I don't think you can so consistently set that up that you'll get it 2 times in a row. It would be a miracle if they did. It would be amazing if they did. It's just, it's statistically unlikely. That's how I'll put it.
No, I hear you. I'm about it. I'm with the numbers and whatnot. 5 minutes, though. I mean, FluxDub's done it twice already. 2 different games.
Definitely,
We mentioned earlier that 5 minutes is enough time to play 2 Temple of Anubis maps. He'll be looking to recreate that performance, and especially if they take A, I can imagine if he has that self-destruct, is going to come in somewhere. He's at least going to try for it.
I fluxed up, looking ready with a D.Va in the spawn, fixed again on the Brigittas, making it work very well this round so far. I haven't seen particular micro plays from Fix just yet, but I'll look at it a little bit more for you guys so we can actually see how valuable Brigitte still is, because that is a question that everyone's asking right now.
Where is she? How valuable is she? And with that that little bit slower healing, what is her true position? We see Cambridge's position maybe holding right outside of point with that vertical positioning. Swinging away here is Cambridge and Slizer trying to take as much value as they can. The invincibility shield coming out from Nano first, with Slizer going to be taken out here. Main tank deleted for the Sussex attack, and they're forced to come all the way back.
Yeah, amazing. And Sussex they tried to do the same thing they did last time, just as Cambridge did, by the way. They tried the same thing in their attack. But Cambridge was successful, and Sussex wasn't. Yeah. So Sussex might take the other route, now go to the other side of the choke. It looks like they might want to go for... Yeah, they are going to go for the other route, it looks like. So they're going to go up the stairs or through? Yeah, they're going up the stairs. Take the high ground.
Taking the bait here. That's this Chamber. Okay, I thought Chamber was going to go all the way up. Maybe charge on that one, but Nano with the Baptiste ultimate, no point in chasing them up there. An entire Sussex team now they're just waiting on cooldowns, I believe. Maybe that speed boost or more, as Chambers and Moore just sitting down bottom. They do not want to get bottled up inside this building to the right of point, just kind of posturing here again. But again, the attack is really going to be at a disadvantage the more time they choose not to drop down. Now here's Slizer and Moore. Baptiste ultimate coming out. They definitely knew that was coming. Can do almost with that transcendence, so he'll be good to keep people alive, as the rest of Cambridge is about 70% entirely on ultimates. Flux up getting very low here, and now the shield bash comes through. No D.Va mech in play now for the side of Sussex, and all the damage in the world from Cambridge comes right to this corner, called the Corner of Pain.
Yeah, Sussex once again getting stomped out, even using the graph late. Odyssey might want that one back. They'll have a few more ultimates to come back in. They drew out the Transcendence because they used that graph, so that might be a worthwhile trade. But it's such an important ultimate. I don't know if they're going to be able to get this point without it. But maybe iFlux Up is going to show up. It's 50% towards that self-destruct. They do have a few other tools to work with, and they'll probably be able to get that graph back. If they get point A right here, they probably get the graph back before point B.
Yeah, I mean, Cambridge is coming up on 5 ultimates, and Kindu's Trans the only one not present. But really, Nano in that long-range shots, there's that 3-round burst hit scan, man. That has been just shredding, honestly, the shields, the armor, the health of Sussex so far. And they've been forced to do this right here. They've been forced to take 5 or 6 seconds for cooldowns and for heals because he's able to nail those shots so accurately. Now, I remember Sussex getting all the way in here. And Kindu left out in the lurch. That, man, I've been there before. Sussex now coming in with a 6-5 advantage as the under drawbridge is the place to be. Shatter landing, but not gonna get anybody. Blocked off entirely as Nano's invincibility shield not gonna be back in this one. Sussex all over point, about 50% now, coming up on 2 ticks, and Cambridge might want to get in there, otherwise they'll fall back. There you go. There's a self-destruct over the top. Arcturus trying to get the 4Ks himself and gets caught by the lip and doesn't connect with anybody. Dugrav coming out from the side of Tau now, and he just gets deleted down, or almost deleted down. There it is. I thought, okay, he lived a little bit longer than I thought, but now that's Chambers in the side, not able to keep that one up, and this looks like a Cambridge defense fallen.
Yeah, and it was just, they tried to taxi back Enkidu from spawn, it just really quickly and then engage, and the timing was very intricate. I think they did the timing correctly. They got in there just in time, and the Zenyatta and Lucio are basically back already. But now we're going to see both the Gravits on the self-destruct, the rally, it's all ready. They could definitely take this point with one push, and they're going to have one or two other pushes after this, so they could just play the bank and say we're going to drag out ultimates and not use anything of their own.
Sussex opting to go inside. Side point, not main here. Chambers is swinging, trying to get as much as he can here. That invincibility shield coming out just tucked away, so destroying is going to be a little bit harder. So, Sunbeard now, or excuse me, Baptiste ultimate coming out here. Nano trying to make the most of it. Self-destruct coming over in the back, but oh, they get it, and Arcturus follows it up with an eat. So this is going to be Cambridge playing at a significant disadvantage now. Sussex all over that one after tossing that in the pocket, but just barely having damage come out from that one. Going to take a couple members. Arcturus now on the mini diva there, but Sussex taking progression now. They're 50%. Coming up on second, they only need to get to 80. Charge coming in is, there you go, perfect timing, and Kindu's trans, the shatter does land, but only gets Coggan fixed on that one. Answering with their own shatter now as Chamber does fall. Shushu getting taken out. Nasty headshot by his counterpart as the sound barrier comes just a second too late for the side of Shushu. Sussex all over this one. Looks like they might be able to stabilize, and it's getting so low here. Cookie's down, and Sussex takes it, answering 1 against Cambridge's 2. We're going to a game 4, Mana Class.
Yeah, the Sharks are in the water, and they're smelling blood. It's a 2-1 series. It's gonna happen, guys. The Sussex Sharks, reverse sweep. Everyone have faith, because a map 5 would be amazing in this series. We've seen every map go to extra rounds, go to extra things. Just it's so close between these teams, which is maybe largely due to them just running the same composition everywhere. But you know what? That play
so
from
beautiful.
iFlux stuff. And the thing is, it didn't happen again, that same play, obviously. And they had a lot more trouble on A, and B took a little bit longer as well than it may have needed to. So it got a lot closer than it maybe should have been time bank wise, because you thought, oh, you know what? They didn't even cap point B. There's 5 minutes on the clock here for Sussex. Now your team has been able to defend that well. This is probably going to be a pretty, an easy map for them to win now, but it still got so close. And that's so impressive from Cambridge that they're still able to keep their cool, keep doing that same thing, run the 3-3 like they're used to, and they are a very good 3-3 team. And I think Sussex, that has already been moving away from the 3-3, showing that they can still match up against Cambridge like this, that is what is surprising me most about the series. And going into the next map, which is going to be hybrid, 3-3 can still be run. It kind of matters which map you go to, how it's going to be run. Yeah. But yeah, I think we're going to go to Eichenwald, and I'm not against that. That's
Eichenwald, yeah.
Yeah, I thought before the break, I thought we might be going to Numbani, but then we had to CP first. So I'm still, oh shit, sorry, excuse me.
It is going to be Numbani, okay.
So we're going to go to Eichenwald. That's my,
okay.
It is going to be Eichenwald. I'm not going to make them play a map they don't want to play. Unfortunately, I can't have that power, because that would
no, it makes sense, dude. Fix has been messing with you. You got to punish the Sussex Sharks. Totally messing around here, obviously. Seriously, shout out here to Fix on that note, flexing very well between the Baptiste and the Brig, mostly bit on the Brig, but I'm pretty sure it was Fix who shield bashed Chamber Jr. on the Reinhardt to set up that iFluxed up 4K on the last one, right? It was kind of an odd angle, but I'm pretty sure that was there. It was very split-second timing, but I'm pretty sure he set that one up immediately. And again, set up a Sussex Sharks 5-minute second round. And
I keep coming back to it, but Sussex Sharks did a
300
really good
seconds.
job. And it wasn't just the shield bash. Shield bash really helped out to get half of those kills, but the other half of those kills was also really nicely set up by Sussex in general by just pushing Cambridge apart. Because with the Brigitte, you do have a little bit more of that frontline pressure still. You still have a little bit more of that AOE damage that she does with the flails. So
Mm-hmm.
you can still push them aside a little bit, push them out, and
Yeah.
that definitely meant that at least the Zenyatta and the Lucio, I think, would have been caught out by that self destruct because they were on the retreat in another path.
Mm-hmm.
But that bash just sealed everything up, getting two more. And if you get that 4K, like we said, you can switch to a Soul Comp all you want, but you're never
Yeah.
going to make it back to point in time with the numbers. So, yeah, that was just a very nicely set up play, showing again why Brigade can still be valuable.
Yeah.
But since it's still a 3-3 we're looking at. So we can still talk about Brigitte, like how's she going to change into 3-3, but the 3-3 is not going to be run anymore. So what we
Mm-hmm.
really need to look at is the value that she's now getting in 3-3. Can she still get that same value, but maybe in a different way in a 2-2-2 composition? And when we look at that,
so
Diva self-destructs will still be a thing. You can still throw Diva self-destruct, so you can still get those stuns out. That is something that's not going to change. Like, that whole mechanic about Brigitte hasn't changed as much. So this play that they made right now is something that can still really, but very much happen in the next meta. But something like that frontline pressure, which just keeps throwing out the flail, is much less likely to happen in a 2-2-2 composition because there's going to be less healing and less sustain coming out from not only her but also her other support, because she only has one other support.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
that is going to be the hard part for teams that still want to play that type of style where they're running with a Rein Zarya, which Brigitte is probably the best support to run with, or it's probably the best tank combo to run Brigitte with, rather. So that can still be a thing, but then you gotta wonder whether you might not have the self-destruct, because if you're in the self-destruct, then you won't have the Zarya because you have the Diva, or you will have a Zarya Diva for some reason. I don't know why anyone would do it, but it's
saying that made it sound like you wanted to spit afterwards or something.
I mean, let's not rule anything out. I mean, we've seen the trend of Blizzard going into a meta where tanks are just tanks. Like, main tanks and off tanks are moving to be more of a blurred line. So eventually we could get to a point with the right balancing acts where Zarya and Diva are also just tanks, and they're not necessarily just a Reinhardt or a Zarya, or an Orisa or a Roadhog. So it could definitely be there. Gonna be looking forward to that. But for now, we're in a 3-3 meta. It looks like this match, we're just in a 3-3 meta. So let's focus on that. I think we're going to be ready pretty soon to go in with the next map. It's going to be Eichenwald once again. Yeah, we've seen a lot of hit scan, or at least a lot of DPS being run, regardless of whether it was a 3-3 meta or not. So we could see it come out. I'm not expecting it from Cambridge, but maybe Sussex has finally decided to show it up because they just want to win this series.
Yeah, Sussex is coming into this one after their first W, avoiding the Cambridge 3-0. This could be the last match if Cambridge wins. Otherwise, we'll be seeing a Game 5 if Sussex takes this one as well. Now, we have not seen a single DPS player played yet, correct? They hovered over Hanzo at one point, but have not seen a single one yet. So
We've seen
the question yeah, exactly right, with the full debate. But question I have for you, we saw a couple of healers kind of get left out in the lurch earlier. Takes on that, thoughts on that?
So you mean that where they were basically left out in a position and just solo killed, essentially? Yeah, I mean, it happens, but it can happen to the best of anyone. It's all about that team play, really. Again, 3-3 has always been about team rotations and positioning and just running around as a six-man. And sometimes you just don't necessarily get left out, but sometimes, especially a hero like Zenyatta, that just wants to take a little bit of that off angle to get more damage in, can just get caught out in those rotations. And with the power of rotation that Sussex has been showing all night, which I've been definitely highlighting a lot, it's just, I would say it was inevitable that it was going to happen at some point, but you definitely do see it happen more on the side of Cambridge, that they get caught out than the side of Sussex. Sussex really has that team play going on that Cambridge, I wouldn't say is necessarily missing, but they're playing it in a different way. And they're not so much about the rotations as the ability usage, where that can definitely be important, but if you rotate away from ability usage, you can still win a fight, which is Sussex's main goal right now.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I guess I just hear a Sussex team playing a little bit more coordinated. That's just reporting the news. The Cambridge on a defense now, as Sussex does push their way under bridge, rotating around as they're one to do. Odyssey and Slizer in the front. Does make sense, as this Odyssey, Zarya does going to want to build as much laser as possible. That's Tower getting all the damage in the world on the side here as they try and rotate through the house, but not sure if that one's going to happen. That's Fix getting very low in the back. Again, this break healing just simply not what it used to be. Chamber Jr. and Tao making sure to pour the damage in no matter where they are. Nano doing his part to try and keep everybody up with that invincibility shield, but that's not going to last long as Slizard does get taken out, and Kendu did fall over the side of Cambridge, so we're watching a 5 versus 5 fight right now, but Chamber Jr. falling, Cookie's falling suit, and that's Cambridge losing the first team fight, Mana Class.
It definitely looks like it, and Kidu once again going on a little bit of aggressive flank. I alluded to that before. That's what's something that Zenyatta's really like to do. And while they did get the pick on the Slizard, it really opens up a lot of possibilities. If you're missing that Discord Orb, if you're missing that extra damage from the Zenyatta, your own Reinhardt and just other members on your team are much easier to kill for the enemy because they have that extra damage. They have that extra Discord. Yep. It's just amazing. Still works very well.
Yeah, Nano used his invincibility shield at the right time. Obviously, he could not have predicted his Reinhardt was going to fall quickly after. Shatter falling, but not going to really have too much of an effect on this one as Nano takes out a couple nasty headshots against Slizard. Again, Sussex now without their main tank, but they're pretty close to spawn with that Lucio too. I don't imagine they're going to have too many members fall here. Slizard now charging all the way back up, got that Reinhardt shield back up, and Sussex is ready to go again. Under drawbridge. No,
Sussex has the resources as well, but so does Cambridge. It's going to be a very close fight, but Slizard again got the Shatter up, even though he died early in that last fight. And the ults are coming out.
Grab, Shushu and Kindu coming out the Transcendences as well. Self-destruct over on the side, and Odyssey not able to get away from that one again. Didn't use the personal bubble, or used it a couple seconds ago, wasn't able to use it again, obviously. Flux getting taken on a mech here as it looks like a Cambridge with a pretty definitive defensive hold.
Flux going off the cliff there, wanting to reset there, and it's kind of that start to the fight was really just like a children's song, you know, like graph, and just continue that with a nice rhythm.
Yeah, no, I'm with it.
Exactly, you know, like graph,
oh, good
shatter, trans. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's just amazing, and it's gonna happen again. I mean, there's a little bit of an ult advantage once again on the side of Sussex here, and they're taking a little bit of a different approach to get into here. Don't go through the gate. Now they have a lot more area to fight around, and it's actually Cambridge falling back and losing a member already.
Yeah, and then Kindu with 70% of that trans, they might even be willing to use that on this team fight coming up as Nano being next on the chopping block. Chamber trying to land a Shatter. Not gonna happen, my friend. In 3 minutes, 30 seconds, as Sussex gets ugly with the side of Cambridge.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about how Slizard hasn't really gone that much value out of the Shatters, usually dying when they use him, but this time it was Chamber Jr. that really didn't get any value out of it and actually fell using it. So it's turning around a little bit, but overall I still think that Slizard has been getting the better of those Shatters. High ground's being contested, but the team is split here. This is not really looking good so far from Sussex.
Yeah, Fix falling first here as the rest does get taken up in a Zarya grab. Shushu with the Transcendence going to make sure nobody fell through that one. Now answer with their own. Neither member's able to take kills in a grab, and if that's not good comp, I don't know what is. Slizard falling afterwards because that makes more sense after the invincibility frisbee by Nano is gone. Or excuse me, by Nope, I got
yeah.
teams mixed
up.
It's
gone. Yeah, no.
It's, no, Nano. Yeah, excuse
gone.
me. Go ahead. Wow, that was confusing for a second.
Yeah, it's not really a problem here. They're going to just come back in using the same approach route. They don't have to really get through the choke anymore because Cambridge is not going to hold as aggressively, but they still have to deal with this high ground, and I don't know how they're going to do that because they're just going to run underneath now, making sure they're not getting shot at least. But, I mean, they're just going to get dropped on again, so how are they going to defend against it? That's the main question, and Cog does have the sound barrier maybe to use that.
Yeah, they do have the Brig ult as well. That was almost it, as now we see Sussex getting aggressive. They get a grab, and then again, sound barrier coming out. That self-destruct not going to matter, as Arcturus now back in his mech, and Kendu falling first in this one. So Cambridge fighting at a disadvantage as Slizard lands a Shatter for the ages. Quick one on that one, as it's going to be Tao now just abused in the back, going to get staggered. A full team kill against Cambridge. Sussex is a-rolling.
And Enkidu falling early in a lot of these fights maybe has to think a little bit differently about the way they position. They might be able to get another defense out, but it's going to be so hard getting through these chokes, especially with Odyssey being so close to a grab.
Oh, that is so close indeed. 2 minutes, or 2 meters, excuse me, but they do make it. Almost a boop against Arcturus. If he'd used those boosters, he'd been mincemeat down bottom. Nano falling after his invincibility shield getting deleted. Arcturus, no more mech for you as the Baptiste still does come out for Nano. And that's the Cambridge trying to make the most of it. Self-destruct over the top is going to take out his opposing Diva, and Sussex pushing all the way in. Warded with some time. They're looking at 2.5 minutes.
And you would think they maybe drag out that fight a little bit longer because they have both the Sound Barrier and Transcendence. But as soon as that graph came out, both Enkidu and Cookies pressed Q. And that might have been a little bit of a misplay because you really want one of those back for the next fight. Because now that Shatter, that can just get people down. And if either of them could have maybe pressed Q to defend against a follow-up, but now they can't.
Yeah, I mean, both of these Zenyatas are good enough to hit it as soon as they hear the Shatter. That would not gonna be enough. Flux stuck eating the grab.
Wow.
Oh, Tao trying to answer and getting his grab eaten, filling the belly up of Fluxed. And this Diva has been playing out of his mind today. Chamber Jr. doing his point to try to get back here, but with a Shatter, I may have waited, honestly.
Yeah, it just looks so good here right now. Like we're coming into this, they're coming into this inside area. Both support ults being used from Cambridge, then everything just comes together. They get the kill in the chamber. They then eat the graviton. They get a nice shatter on the whole team of Cambridge almost. I think they didn't get the Baptiste, but that was about it. Yep. It's just you don't want to have to deal with that if you're Cambridge. And now they got time left, even though there was so much time stalled out on first, especially on second actually.
Yeah, I gotta repeat that. Literally, everything went right for Sussex there at the end. From coming on to the last little bridge, last little part of bridge, taking a quick team fight against Cambridge as they were kind of trying to get back there. Obviously, moving through these very small corridors is not going to be the name of the game. Going up against another GOATS composition that's already there, but everything went right for them at the end. I think they took that with 25 seconds.
Yeah, they really just steamrolled through that last point. And once again, I like to reiterate that the ult usage there of Cambridge was very problematic. It's not just using those double support ultimates, but also getting shattered there. Using chamber early, then getting the grab eaten. It's all these situations that just pile up, and you could almost say that Cambridge unconsciously, obviously not on purpose, like they made a few mistakes, but that just gave that point to Sussex. I'd rather say that Sussex just did a very good job because that's what they did. But definitely there might be some blame there for some claims. And I'd like to see Enkidu, because he got picked off a lot early in fights. I'd like to see that change a little bit because that has really been a bit of a problem for them.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned earlier, right? I mean, GOATS comp is all about the positioning, having to move together as a team. And Kindu, we did see getting taken out by himself on Temple a couple times, but we really, Cambridge would only take value from having Kindu play a little bit closer to his team. Nano going to be about 50% to ultimate already, as we see Cambridge kind of rotating around. Nano trying to get back with the rest of his team, getting those healing orbs down. Slazard falling first, and I think we've seen this movie before, Mana Class.
We definitely got to see it moving forward pretty soon. A very quick point A fight, just as the last one. I think even quicker than Sussex did it. And once again, teams defending on maps today has not really gone that well so far, but you know what? It's Ichabod. It's a different type of map that High Ground could very well work out for Sussex. They're also going to pose up there. And are they? I think they're just going to hold close to the gate because they're not all there yet. They have to wait for Cog because he's not there. And they're going to be in a less favorable position. This could work out very well for Cambridge.
Yeah, Cambridge opting not to get aggressive with it, even though, maybe if they'd have known Cog hadn't been there, their decision had been different. But no matter. Payload is at the drawbridge. That's coming up, and Payload will be moving in just a second. 5 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock for Cambridge, and they're in a definitively better position as Sussex now rotating around, getting aggressive here. Chamber Jr. and Slazer doing their Reinhardt battle as Cookies fix, both falling, so these teams fighting 5-5. Nano investing that invincibility shield early. The grab is going to seal the deal. Chamber Jr. with a fire strike for the ages.
And a fire strike through an immortality is an application matrix. That does 200 damage, guys. It doubles the fire strike damage of 100, and it hits multiple targets, goes through everything. It's just hard to deal with in a hole. But wow, 4 minutes 45, and they're already approaching this bridge area. It's going to be at least another fight, maybe even two. And they've got the ultimates to work with the defense, but it's going to be hard, and they really need to get something going here.
Self-destruct first. Archos tossing in the back, trying to get something going. Nothing on that one. His grab does land. Sound Barrier and Transcendence from Nkindu and Cookies. Now Shu wanting to join the Transcendence party. Gets on in there. His Cookie does fall without his Sound Barrier there. Nano Chamber Jr. falling. Sussex has won this one.
Yeah, once again, 2 support ultimates being used at the same time. We're on the other side. Shu almost dying to the self-destruct, was saved by the Sound Barrier, but had the faith that the Sound Barrier would save their Zenyatta lives there. Actually got out on Sliver of HP. And then after the Sound Barrier was used, a good 7 seconds after, that's when the Transcendence comes out. So it's a layering, not layering, but a staggered use of these support ults. That's really what pulls it together.
Oh man, these teams just going to battle on the steps here is Nano's invincibility, as is tradition, falling first. With the Baptiste window coming out, Nano forcing everybody away from these stairs. Cambridge continuing to get aggressive as Arcturus actually gets kind of sacrificed up top. Up there by himself, or flew in by himself, but actually as he's doing that, Cambridge is getting progression here, and because that is the name of the game, attempted boot coming by Cog, doesn't find anybody on that one, the wall serving to their advantage. Now getting aggressive, booping back here, and Fix is going to be the only one falling for the side of Sussex so far as they float in like water and take Cambridge players left and right.
Yeah, very nicely done. Trying to do the same thing they did on Gibraltar earlier, where they tried to back up the payload a little bit. But it's not going to be as successful here in Eichenwald because unless you're having exactly push it to the gate itself, you are going to always have to take a fight in front of that point. So it didn't really matter that much here. It wasn't that much to gain. And while the Diva was down, that was already a problem for them. And Sussex has really started to cement a very good hold here. Has started the old rotation off. I've got 5 in the bank already. But Cambridge not out of ultimates just yet.
Indeed not. Now there's the grab against the wall, but Chamber getting really aggressive with it. Odyssey got a lot of members, but they're not able to keep their Reinhardt up through it. Slizer and more than a cadre of Sussex players just deleting down Cambridge.
Very nicely done here. Slicer just showing up. And of course, everything in that tight area, you can just keep swinging the hammer. I always try to imagine what would happen if they coded it such a way that your hammer would just stop swinging if you hit a wall. But I think that would really break the game too much. So let's just not try and make that happen, guys. Let's just keep Reinhardt the way he is. It's okay. Not even that buggy.
Yeah, Blizz, actually, don't listen to that one. The more I think about that, the more ugly that one sounds. 6 ultimates for the side.
It's gonna be close. No grab though, and I think that might be the big misser. But support ultimate usage, don't stack them again. That's the main name of the game. Stagger those support ult.
Yeah, do not count those out. Self-destruct coming out of the back. Arcturus trying to get it done there, but everybody blocking away from that one. Flux up eats another one. Tau filling the belly of that one. Shatter landing, and Slizer taking advantage again. This guy and his shatters. Chambers not able to block that one up as members of Cambridge getting cleaned up left and right. That's going to be an even trade between Chamber and Tau, you know, charging off. That's it's going to take both teams the same amount of time to regroup on this one.
Yeah, it really is not going to matter. I think defense actually might be a little bit quicker, but that was such a nice play where you just eat the grab, and then of course they think they can run in, so they're already on their way. The Reinhardt starts swinging, you just shatter them back. It's all about that goats play, and it's so much harder to eat ultimates. I mean, the range is shorter of the defense matrix, and it doesn't last as long. So iFlux up really showing up. I think he's eaten like 2 or 3 already, especially 2 in this map already.
Yeah, he's really been getting it done, especially given that I mean, those grabs are just so big. Odyssey tossing that just as soon as he gets it. Chambers Jr. caught up in that one. Banana doing his part to keep everybody alive with that invincibility shield. But there's it, is Slizer falling through it. Nano taking a pick of his own. Whoa. And there's Fluxed up again! Oh my god! No shield by the Reinhardt to do it, and Fluxed up takes this team fight by himself again. That is the 3rd or 4th time tonight, Mana Class. We were talking earlier about his eats.
Okay.
We should pay attention about his 4Ks and his 5Ks, man. Oh my god.
You know what? Honestly, that's one of those times where you just keep thinking they can't keep getting away with it, and it just keeps happening. And I fluxed up. Honestly, they're coming in once again, but can I make it to the payload? I think Cookies. No, Cookies got killed.
No. Arcturus was looking at payload and wasn't able. He'd used his fly to already come out. Sussex Sharks tying this one up and pushing it to the game 5.
Game 5, reverse sweep still happening. The blood stain is getting bigger in the water, and the Sharks are definitely smelling it. And you know, Anubis is a map devoid of water. Eichenwald actually has a river below it, so the water is getting closer as well. and depending on which control map we're going to, you know what? I'm gonna let's not theorize too much on the water theory. I don't know where I was going with that one, but wow, what a series so far. It's just going every which way it wants to go, really. And with this fifth map coming in right now, I'm just
I'm at a
this is
loss.
insane.
I'm
I don't know.
equally at a loss, Mana
It's
Class. Sussex
yeah,
has just
it's
shown
just
up.
Ilios or Nepal, and it's gonna be either. I mean, Nepal in the in the Himalayas, has frozen water with just snow and ice, and then Ilios, which has no water on the coast. It has a well, which is maybe devoid of water, but you know what? I don't think the Sharks want to get into it for that one, but they may want to throw other people in it. We're gonna go back to the Spartan references. I don't know. It's gonna be amazing. Gonna go to
This is Sussex.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm with
right?
it. I'm with it. Oh man, the
Yeah.
deep level water evaluation, color analysis by Mana Class. I love it absolutely. I do believe after map 4 we do give these teams a short break to figure out game 5. Obviously the hypest of the hype, the closest of the close. We'll be back with you guys in just a couple minutes while these two teams kind of figure out what they want to do. And we are live here back, game 5 between Cambridge and Sussex. They're 2-2 going all the way down to Nepal. FBI tugboat here, providing the play-by-play commentary. Mana Class over there, doing the best color analysis and talking about water. Hide down there in the producer's box, making our job just so much easier. This is the NUEL put on by Twitch Student, Republic of Gamers, and Intel. Appreciate those guys all the way. Let's talk about this matchup. I do think we have a couple subs in here, Mana Class.
Yeah, we got one coming in here. Eric's is going to replace Cookies here. And Cookies has been doing a lot of work on that Lucio. Got some good boops out. We saw it happen on Gibraltar especially. But, I mean, Eric's might be getting in a whole lot of new world of pain for Sussex. So we'll see what that's going to do. Enkidu has been a little bit problematic on the Zenyatta, dying a lot early, and they've been staggering support ultimates. So that's definitely something that we're going to be seeing coming in here. Right now, gonna go into Nepal. Like you said, it's gonna be the fifth map, last map of the series because they can't tie it. It's all to play for. We might see a reverse sweep coming out from the Sussex Sharks because they were down 2-0 at the half, and now they're just coming back with a 2-2. It's insane. It's definitely something that's paying up here right now.
It
Teams
really
are ready, casters are ready, gonna get into the match. I'm excited. Yeah, let's get this show on the road, guys.
Yeah, Sussex is hungry. Like you said, they have came through here, dropped too quickly to Cambridge, came back a swinging on third map, and took Eichenwald in fine fashion, not even letting Cambridge come all the way up to second point. That's a significant margin.
Yeah, gonna start here on Sanctum though, and Sanctum, it's not Ilios well, but it's because it actually has a bigger ground to fall in.
Yeah,
It's actually
exactly.
worse than well. The main
Worse?
difference here, though, I mean, the main difference here,
Better.
though,
Better.
I mean, it's worse. I would say it's like if you don't like pits, this one is worse because the
Yeah,
pit's
I'm a
bigger.
Lucio main class. I love this map.
Yeah, I think the main difference though is that on Ilios there's a lot of angles you can drag people in from, and on Sanctum here it's a little bit harder because it's not a circular point.
Yeah.
There's a lot more area on the point side of things where you're just safe from being pulled or pooped into the abyss where Zenyatta Stretch is hiding.
This is like square, you know, the Ilios
yeah,
well is more
exactly.
like circular, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and a big deal about it as well is that it has slight high ground, and elevation around it. So that really makes it a bit of a different dynamic where you cannot really be booped over the pit when you are on the point, but you can be booped over the pit when you're not on the point because then you have that elevation difference.
Oh yeah. I think we've all gotten that super fast boot from Lucio behind that has taken us all the way from high ground back on a point, literally kind of like, you know, putting us with the rest of our team. You gotta thank your Lucios for that one. Cambridge rotating all around. We're seeing goats comps by both teams, but Sussex now subbing in the Slizzard Winston.
On the Winston.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're talking about high grounds and vertical positioning and the differences therein. I think that Sussex and Slizzard gonna find some value from that one. Now Cambridge looking to get involved down bottom. Diva and Zarya in front. Not to be outdone, Chambers Jr. here with that Reinhardt shield. He's taking all the damage in the world, though, from this Winston playing around the corner here. Now, with the invincibility shield gone, Nano already up to ultimate, though. Chambers Jr. getting left down the lurch and taken out on that one. No Nano invincibility shield to help with this one. So Brig and Zarya getting it done here against this Diva. Arcturus almost gets booped all the way off as now we see us, now that's Tau getting shot in the back here. Mostly Sussex. Sussex all over now up to 15%.
Yeah, they got the point first, and they were still fighting after they had capped the point. That was an amazing fight from them. Slizzard got that Primal Rage up so quickly, didn't even have to use it there, but that was still a safety precaution for the end there. I think now they got everything up, but their Sound Barrier and their Graviton, and those are going to be charging quickly.
Yeah, FluxUp's already got that one. Next on the chopping block will be that grab. That'll be huge. Nano investing this invincibility shield a little bit early, so this next push is going to be just a little bit negatively affected by that early usage. 20% or 20 seconds on that cooldown as we see every Cambridge player with ultimates. Here's the Sound Barrier, here's the Inkendo Transcendence, and there's a self-destruct. There's taking out Nano without that invincibility shield. That's going to happen. Shatter now down, self-destruct on the back, answered from the side of Sussex. Not going to find anything that one, but he does have that Diva mech back up. Chamber Jr. now falling. This is an angry monkey, and Slizer sitting where he wants to.
Yeah, he's just going deeper and deeper into the enemy spawn. Tower Neutrino even getting taken out late. Great play there from Sussex. And what looked like a very close matchup in the past 4 maps is now not looking so close anymore, because the evolution of playing Winston on this map has been so important. And yes, Chamber cannot be booped around as much as he used to be with that passive of 30% net less knockback, but the rest of the team still can. Yeah, but I mean, the rest of the team still can. And if it's just your Reinhardt not being booped, you just boop the rest of the team away from him. So that's really working out right now for Sussex. And 90% and counting.
90% and counting indeed, as Sussex now forced to get all over point. Fluxed up, kind of left by himself because they don't have that Reinhardt shield. And Kinju falling though, Odyssey making sure to take that pick and take it early. Chamber Jr. getting all the attention in the world so low, and that main tank isn't going to live through that one as the grab comes out against Sussex. And now here's Taos as well, not going to find anything on that one, and we're going to see a Sussex team take this 99-0. Manda class.
And that really was a no contest map. Sussex really dominating on that one. The Winston is coming in clutch, and Chamber didn't really, I mean, neither team has been really actively trying to switch heroes around because they've basically been playing the same composition all night. But you know, at some point you got to figure maybe there's going to be some adjustments. I think Slizzard might go back to the Reiner on this point though. I don't think this is the one where you really want to play the Winston. But so we're going to be in an almost mirror match, but once again, Fix likely is to stay on the Brigitte here, and it's been going better. It didn't go that well on the first control map, but for now, it's not really been problematic. There isn't that much that Brigitte can necessarily do to boot people away on this one. I mean, you can boot a little backwards, but there's no really environmental kills that happen. And the main thing is going to be who's going to be on point first, because that will really dictate the pace of the fight and which team has to be more aggressive and initiate on the other. And it looks like, yeah, it looks like Cambridge is going to go to the point straight away. They're not even going to go to the high ground.
Yeah, Sussex opting to have taken backfield and really just try to call Cambridge coming through there. But like you said, Cambridge all over a point on this one. Chamber Jr. up in front, as is tradition. Odyssey over on the side trying to get as much damage as he can, but now that Chamber Jr. shield getting so low. Flux up getting taken out of Diva Mech pretty early. I think that was Odyssey and Moore getting a lot of damage against him. Or excuse me, that was Tower and Moore getting a lot of damage against him. Chamber Jr. falling first. And again, we see how these go without your main tanks, Mana Class.
Yeah, your main tech is really something you want to keep on, and while Slicer has been falling early in the past a lot, it's now looking that Chamber is pulling a little bit on the short end of the strings there, and yeah, I don't know, it's gonna be a close one, but for now Sussex just look to be completely revitalized. It's nothing like Busan, which they barely lost in a 2-1 fashion.
I want to make a wild generalization here. So it kind of seems like when Nano is able to keep these invincibility shields up, then Cambridge takes advantage. When it's not, Sussex, Fix, and Flux Up specifically are able to go to town on Cambridge. When he has a good investment of it, they take it all the way. Charge coming through, that's just going to be this, this Diva up top just taking, a lot of damage against him. Sound Barrier now being forced out for Sussex, so they're going to be gravy through this one. Shushu has his, but it's Nkindu is pulling the trans to try and stall this one out. Chatter falling but not really landing. Fluxed up out of that mech a while ago as Nano and Chamber both fall, so Cambridge fighting at a severe disadvantage. Looks like Sussex is taking this one again.
One bright spot in the back line though. Fix tried to go and take the duel against Enkidu Zenyatta, but you can't do that anymore as Brigitte. The Zenyatta will actually just mess you up because you don't have that shield, you don't have that same sustain, few headshots, and you're just down. That's exactly what happened, but 65% and counting. Fix will be back in time.
Changes.
They do have the Enkidu Brigitte now, Nano on the Zenyatta, so he's gonna mirror match them, but they have the ultimates to work with on the side of Cambridge. The main thing is that Shushu Baba is gonna try and get the Transcendence off to do a lot of work against that Grav.
And that's the only one they have out so far. And like you said, there's the Grav, there's the Trans, Fluxed Up getting very low, taken out of mech and more on this one. As we see Chamber Jr. getting all the attention in the world. Shatter coming down, but not landing again. Charge coming through against, and that's going to be a stun there. Now Cambridge taking this in the thick of things as Nano showing off that Zenyatta already. Okay, this is a little bit of a different play.
Yeah, it's definitely a different play. They just swap it up, and they finally don't play the Baptiste anymore. They just say, you know what? We're gonna match you up exactly what you want to do. And now they're getting their old rotational line as well. They have the Transcendence. They'll have a rally coming up soon. Yes, Cog and Fix will be close to those as well. And iFlexed up has the self-destruct. But this attack is going to be much harder than it was previously now that they're running into Enkidu.
You know, you say iFlux Up has a self-destruct so passively and so gently. I would not be nearly as calm about that one because he has shown that he can like average something like 3 kills per. This is Sussex now, rotating all around, right in the front, trying to push this one in. Chamber getting all the damage in the world and not helped out by his team. Self-destruct in the back is Fluxed Up. Invest that one already, mostly for a remech, and now Nano doing his part. Keep everybody on this Transcendence and Kindu as well with the Brigitte ultimate, 95 against 55, 56. Cambridge holding on here as Sussex is in there. Grab coming out against the wall, keeping players out. 98% of Sussex has taken this, and Cambridge members falling, and there's a huge shatter getting everyone in Chamber takes a 3K with a single fire strike.
It
Talk about getting it done yourself. Oh my god.
Like that was over, and it was all the play. Goes down early in the fight before because he doesn't have that immortality field, but it was all thought out. They knew he was going to come back in time. They knew he was just going to flank Shatter and just win the fight for them. I think that was a 900 IQ play. I mean, I can't know for sure, but let's just assume it is because we can assume things. That's lovely. But Slizer has the Shatter of his own, so could definitely do the same thing here. They're going to go through the high ground. Maybe try to bait them out to go in a different direction. I don't know exactly what's going to happen here. It's going to be iFlux Up going from a different angle, though.
This one much more close than we saw in Sanctum. Lots of damage coming against, and that's forcing out the sound barrier. Fixed is still not in there. Shatter coming down. Slizer doing his part on that one as Chamber and Nano both taking picks. And Shushu a little bit late on the Transcendence. This is just a Zenyatta, this is just a Diva, and this is just a Zarya on point. Again, we know where this is going.
We definitely do. I mean, there's no Reinhardt to pull it back this time. The grab doesn't get much here from Tony Trino, but it didn't need to because they already had all the kills. It's going to be Cambridge closing out this stage, and that means we're going to not only go on a map 5, but we're going to go the full distance, going to a 1-1 on a Paul. Third stage coming in, and we haven't seen Shrine, obviously. I think Shrine is, like, layout wise, the most even stage. It's the easiest to get into. It's the hardest to defend because it's so open. It's the most balanced stage in that regard. But that doesn't mean that one of these teams cannot just run away with 100-0. And we've seen the adaptations now come out from Cambridge. And if they're swapped to Brigitte from Enkidu and Nana on the Zenyatta, if that really wins them the series, I'm going to be so flabbergasted because they did so well with the Baptiste and then fixed up the Brig. We've been criticizing it all night, but it's just been working for them. This series has gone back and forth, and the fact that it's a 3-3 series, the fact that it's so late in the 2-2 rotation and just switch to it still keeps amazing me.
Straight up, everything about this matchup has been unique given where we are with 2-2, given where we are here in the NUEL, and given where we are in map 5, round number 3 here on Nepal. One team down bottom, one team up top. Both teams going to be forced to come on to point in about 5 seconds. That's Cambridge rotating all the way around. Sussex coming from top ground now. That swinging away is Chamber trying to get it done here. 40% so far as Nkindu falls to another well-placed fire strike. Slizer has been getting these going so far. Main tanks deleted from both sides. Chamber and Junior and Slizer are both gone, so no Reinhardt shields to be found. And actually, I really thought Cambridge was going to take that. I am proved wrong yet again. Taro falling late. Arcturus going to get staggered out. And this Sussex team is still willing to get involved and aggressive up front. Now, of course, as Chamber Jr. taking out the Baby Diva on the other side, so Sussex is not a full 6.
Yeah, they're going to back up a little bit, get their Diva back from spawn quickly, and they're just going to pose on point for the defense. But Enkidu on the Brigitte still going down early in these fights, and it really needs to stop happening because you don't have that same AoE damage with the Brigitte and the Reinhardt. Zenyatta now clean on the high ground, but Shushu gets caught out on the side almost. Nice shatter. Fight started here, and it's looking good for both teams to a degree.
Shushu falling to some well-placed headshots, Arcturus and more. I know Cambridge was all over that when his Fluxed Up gets knocked out of that mech, the mech that he has found so much value from so far. Shatter landing, Fluxed Up does have that mech back, and they let him get back into it. And Kendo and Slizer are both deleted, sometimes fighting 5-5 as the grab does come out, and that's Sussex in the middle. Feeling the fire from that one. Sussex is 52-53% on here. Cambridge's going to start taking percentages of their own.
Yeah, being stuck between a rock and a hard place doesn't really describe these fights anymore because it's just you're stuck between one thing and another thing. And it can be any like a shield or a hammer or a wall, or it could be a lot of different things, and it's not just the rock and the hard place. So right now we're looking at Sussex coming back in with not necessarily an ult advantage, but they're looking a little bit better with the supports, the sportals that they have especially. So they could very well win this one out. Another self-destruct goes in, not from iFlux, and you won't get anything for that reason.
Now sound barriers coming out from both sides. Them yelling out the exact same second. 30% now for the side of Cambridge as Fix falls first again. And Kindu on the other side, however, is in the middle of his Brigette ultimate, getting armor on everybody as the shatter lands. Slizer falling on that one, and Chamber Jr. actually falling immediately afterwards. He was he was all over that, and he was down. I'm kind of surprised that Slizer got aggressive with that one and did fall. So grab coming out here, Odyssey trying to make the most of it as Tower now tossing out his own, and it looks like Cambridge might be on top of this because it's only the Brig and the Diva up here on point. Now that is Fluxed Up, and he is able to turn this around as Slizer is back, but it looks like Slizer, Fluxed Up, going to be making the wise decision, come all the way back on that one for Shushu does fall.
Yeah, they were missing just a little bit of that damage when that graph came out from Odyssey. Otherwise, they would have definitely gotten that point. So it's just a little bit of that extra damage that you're missing, and that's just a shame because that means that Tony Trino gets to pull it back. They have a little bit of a faster respawn, so they get more damage in that grab. And yeah, they pulled it out, and now it's going to be a very even fight, but the ults are definitely a little bit more there for Cambridge, so maybe not as even as you think.
Shusu switching on over to that Ana might yield huge benefits for the side of Sussex.
Definitely.
Again, this is his last map. Arcturus, Chamber, both with their tank ultimates on that one as we near 90-95 for the side of Cambridge. Sussex has to get in here, and they have to get in here now. Nice anti coming through against 3 members of Cambridge. Self-destruct over in the back. Nicely done, Slizer taking a pick and blocking that one off in fine fashion here. Cambridge getting beaten off of this one, losing members left and right, and Sussex takes this in the final hour.
They definitely do, and that switch to Ana, like you said, it was a beautiful anti-nade.
Perfect.
They even take a late kill onto Town Neutrino. That won't matter for the respawns that quickly, but I think it might just cement that it's going to be the last fight of the map and the series, and maybe the tournament for either team. So it's close. The ultimates are definitely coming up for both teams. Might be a little bit of an advantage here on the side of Sussex because they will have that nano, they'll have the sound barrier, and the transcendent isn't quite there from nano. Neither is self-destruct.
Yeah, they do have the grab, do have the shatter, but this is a perfect rendition of this game so far as the grab does come out. Mostly Slicer just in the middle of that one. Shatter landing isn't going to get anybody but fucked up as Chamber doing his part to block that off, but falls instantly. And Sussex with the 4K, they have just won this, and they will be going on to the finals to be playing against BU Stead.
Oh, Chamber trying.
For a lot.
No.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I hate to call that one early, but a quick
fine.
4K.
No, I think you called it correctly. I don't think the wrecking ball would
Sharks
have made
are
it even
circling.
without the self-destruct. But wow,
Yeah.
the Sharks with the reverse sweep. Shushu Baba
Literally.
actually got shattered in that last fight. I thought the nano wasn't gonna go off, but then the graph came out. The nano just to put the icing on the cake, or well, the red hot hammer into the graph really. And this one, this is where they had almost already lost the series in Cambridge with this one, and then Chambers came back in with that shatter. So many great plays being made. I mean, we can think back about all the shatters, all the self-destructs from iFlux, all the graphs from Odyssey and Neutrino, even that anti-nade from Shushuba in that second to last fight. Honestly, amazing series.
Okay, have to point this out. Fix got 94% of kill participations in the last match.
Wow.
And he only went up from there. He got 100% kill participation on Nepal. 100. Every kill that Sussex Sharks got, he was a part of.
Yeah.
That is nutty.
I think that's a testament to how well they played a 3-3 together and how well they stick together as a unit in order to get that done. Honestly, it was such a close series, and while it was only 3-3 that we've seen, I'm very happy that we've seen that. And obviously, we are not done for the night yet. We're going to get Sussex Sharks in another game, and when they play against BU Stead University, which is Bournemouth, I'm going to be very interested to see if this 3-3 trend is going to continue.
I would be very interested as well. Like you mentioned earlier, I get tired. You get tired of anything after a while, right, man? After a while, 9 months of casting goats. Yes, it was nice to cast something different, but this is the last little bit, right? This is the NUEL. We didn't start out with a 2-2-2 role lock, so we're going to be seeing this going through. I wouldn't be against it. Obviously, if it's viable, if it's playable, it is. It was the meta for a long time for a reason, and we're not necessarily going to see it just completely banned just because of a few nerfs, So.
No, definitely not. And but we did see the switches coming out, like the Ana, we said the Baptiste. So there's definitely some interplay there still. For now, though, we're going to send it to a little bit of a break because we definitely want to give Sussex Sharks a little bit of breathing room and don't send them in the next match straight away. They just had 5 maps, which went all the maps went to a long time bank as well. So I definitely want to give them a lot of breathing room. Not to mention us, Tugboat. Like we've been talking a lot.
Yeah, I never get tired of the sound of my own voice, man, in class, but we'll be back with you guys and more. I promise I'll be talking to myself and everyone else in the break as well.
Nothing scares me anymore. If we never see tomorrow, babe. If we never make it through today. If we never see tomorrow, babe. I know that I reach out, want to.
we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we win, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we win. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock. This is how we win. This is how we roll, man. This is how we rock.
Take my hand, hold it tight. Promise that you'll never let me go, even when we fight. Wrap my arm around you, girl. I promise I won't ever let you go. I'm holding on for life. I gotta know how you feel about me. So many different emotions in my body. I gotta know what you do on our love, 'cause I'm not planning on giving you up.
And we are live here with the NUEL. We got the finals between BU Stead and the Sussex Sharks. That's Boosted University taking on the Sussex Sharks after Sussex Sharks came through with a wild map 5 win, taking over their opponent, Cambridge. They have earned their slot in here all the way through. I'm FBI Tugboat, and casting with me is Mana Class. Down in producer's box is my boy Hyde, making our job just so much easier. We're looking at the finals here, Mana Class.
It's the finals, and we just saw such an amazing semifinals, or lower bracket finals, whatever you want to call it. It was a map 5, went all the way. They only played 3-3. I don't know if we're going to see repetition of that. There's been rumors of yes, there's an agreement, or yes, there's not an agreement. I really don't know. I don't mind either way. Like, either we see a beautiful GOAT series, or we see a series that just shows a little bit of everything, or just a little bit more of the Orisa compositions. It's all up in the air. I'm excited for it. I think we're going to start on Busan once again, which has been the choice. Well, default choice for a lot of teams. Like we highlighted, it's a very flexible, very versatile map. So it's definitely something that we could see come out. I don't know. Once again, it's still up in the air whether they're gonna only play the 3-3, yes or no. We don't know. It's all happening behind the scenes. Of course, we're in the team chat with everyone, but still, it's not really clear. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but we're gonna get into the map pretty soon. So I guess we'll get our answer as soon as we can.
Exactly. I can guarantee that we'll be watching and commentating on some Overwatch, my man, my class. Busan first. This is a best of 5, of course. BU Stead coming through here 8-0 in the regular season. Looking on the other side, Sussex Sharks 5-3, and so just objectively from their regular season performances, Mana Class, BU Stead is going to be coming through at an advantage.
Yeah, I mean that's what you would think, and I mean obviously when they have not been playing 3-3 throughout the entire season, so if they actually go there, you know, they've only play that, then we really can throw everything out the window that we know. Because then it's just going to come down to who's the better team on 3-3. And I don't think that actually BU Stead is that solid on the pure 3-3. So I'm curious to see, again, what's going to come out. I can keep repeating that they might or might not do it. For now,
say it again. Say it again.
You know what? They might or might not play 3-3.
Damn, that's a really good point.
It's like, all we know is that it's unlocked. It's not a 2-2-2, so they can play it. But for now, I just want to get into the map. I just want to see. I just want to see what happens.
And again, this is post-patch. No Sigma
all balances in.
involved.
No Sigma. No 2-2-2.
Yep.
Just to reiterate, want to get the confirmation. Yeah, no, obviously, definitely, and I think a lot of it is going to depend as well. Like which map do we get first? Because it's got to be Busan first, but then it's the stages within Busan, and some are more common to see first. Others are not. It's gonna be Busan loading into the map. Let's see. It's gonna be downtown.
Downtown first. Okay, it's a little bit of a different, different vertical positioning on this one. Of course, this NUEL's grand final is put on by Twitch Student, Republic of Gamers, and a small little indie hardware company named Intel.
Yeah, I wait. Intel, really? Is that nothing? Okay, sure.
That's a joke. It's sarcasm. Apparently, obviously, they're a very, very large organization.
Yeah, no, sure. I don't know. I have like an AMD Ryzen processor. I think I don't know. Not a lot of people know about that as well. But apparently that's it's a really good part. I'm enjoying it, so that's amazing.
That's the bee's knees. That's what you're saying.
I know, right? But right now we're gonna go into downtown. Looks like we're I mean, still settling here, so we don't really know. What we've seen being a lot run here lately, though, has been that Orisa, the May Reaper. Sometimes teams like to run a Widowmaker to just get around everything, just take the high ground, because the May Reaper comp cannot really get up there that easily. But for now, it looks like both teams running into this with at least a 3-3 on the side of Sussex once again, which we've seen them run to very large effect in the last series. But Aries might be on the Doomfist here, so not exactly a 3-3 like we're used to. Might be a 3-2-1, and we know that BU Stead likes to run the Doomfist a lot of the time. So I'm curious to see what they can do with it against this 3-3. And Slizzard going over to the Winston might throw a little bit of a wrench in their plan.
I would not be against that, although I'm wary to talk about how good Slizzard might do going up on Arya's Doomfist. Obviously, that's a one-sided fight if there ever was one. Slizzard taking this vertical positioning, getting that tickle cannon down on everybody. Rara is now forced to come back with the rest of his team. Jim Jam going to be putting those projectile bubbles all over him as he goes. Slider's still up top and getting value from it. 26% for him. Main tank on the other side isn't even in double digits yet. So we see Busted, or Busted, excuse me, coming all the way around, now all over point and pretty close to that take. Arta's trying to get it going here. Blizzard Star going to be the first to fall on this one. Brig usually a little bit harder to kill, but now post-patch, Fluxed up, getting taken out as well. Arta's continuing on with that Doomfist, and now Tickle coming through. Fixed Cog, Odyssey, all taking kills of their own. Shoo gets in on the action, and we're going to see Sussex taking percentages of their own. Wholesale switches coming out from Busted.
Definitely, while that fight was actually looking pretty good here for the side of Busted to start off, it was a fairly even trade, and they maybe even got the better first pick. It was actually looking, it came out in the favor here of Sussex here. And then, like you said, switching over to that Winston now, it's going to be relatively even, but still the Doomfist instead of the third tank.
Yeah, Doomfist instead of third tank. Of course, he does have that 250, and he's getting aggressive all over Shoo. That was a perfectly executed play. Arez just executing this Zenyatta. No mercy on this as Arez pulls that Doomfist ult immediately. Meteor coming down, getting damage on, but not taking out anybody yet. This is Fixed and more trying to get super aggressive with this as Slizer gets that Angry Monkey going, pushes a Diva off of all people. Cloud dropping that sound barrier. Busted not willing to give this one up quite yet as Arez now is back in this, trying to get it done as Slizer does fall after the coordinated damage from Sussex. From Busted takes him out. Now that's both Winstons down. Straber chooses now to pop that Transcendence, keeping everybody up, and Shoo pulling it second is going to get more of the value from it. Blizzard Star falling after the Transcendence is gone. Sussex going up 56-57% in counting.
Looks like Sussex still a hot streak from that last series, knowing exactly what they need to do. Their coordination is warmed up, their comms are warmed up, their play is warmed up, and they're just busting it open here on the first stage of Busan.
Oh yeah.
That does not being said that Busted is not doing things, especially RAZ on this on this Doomfist been showing up, doing a lot of punching, doing a lot of running around here, and that self-destruct from iFlux stuff not getting that much this time.
No, it is not, but they don't need it when they got members like these. Cloud and Jim Jam taking kills of their own. Huge sorts of damage, and now the main tank gone. I think it's safe to say that Busted has taken this one, fan class.
Busted, finally, Bu sting that point open. I'm sorry for that one. I needed to do it, but yeah, they're finally coming. They have quite a few ultimates for that. They're gonna be actually they didn't have to use that much. It was just the Primal Rage and the Meteor Strike. They're gonna come in with a lot of other ults, but so is the other side, and they're closing in on the Graviton, which I mean I don't really know who they're gonna catch with it, but if they're gonna catch anyone, it's still gonna be a good one.
Yeah, Graviton's just such a huge major ultimate as Goldenfish Jim Jam now posturing back, waiting to get a little bit of healing, and now Blizzard Star getting it going with that Brigade ultimate, getting armor on everybody and fully inspiring them. Now Soundbearer dropping Cog for the side of Sussex, trying to get aggressive with this as Cloud pops his own. Punch comes against Flux, and he's getting super low on this. Grab coming out, but that's only going to be the tanks for the side of Busted getting taken out in that one. Fixed falling to well-placed Rocket Punch on this. Goldenfish following that up against Odyssey. Off-tank deleted for the side of Sussex, and the Shoo getting deleted by his counterpart. I do believe Busted has won this team fight.
Yeah, that is a nice closeout with that self-destruct, just realizing that they just needed to... They just wanted to close out the fight, just wanted to not drag it on for longer. Even though they were in control of the point, they could have dragged it on for a little bit longer, but they're still holding on to a few ultimates. They're going to have the Primal Rage and the Meteor Strike back and the Transcendence, and not really a lot of huge ultimates on the other side outside of their Transcendence of their own, although we know iFlux up can really hit those bombs.
Yes, indeed. With the Transcendence there, now that pulling out by Straber, not Shoo, so Busted and choosing to involve theirs first and early. Getting aggressive here is Goldenfish, pulling that Primal Rage instantly to go up to 1,000 health, and now their Shoo Transcendence comes out, and everybody for the side of Sussex finds a place to relocate on point. Goldenfish falling here after that Primal Rage does end. Self-destruct going directly up, pull shot coming back down, not going to find anything on that one. Fluxed up is back in his mech and doing business. Cog now back with the rest of his team, and Arez up top trying to find a place to position in here, 97-98%, as he gets interrupted on his Rocket Punch and getting very low cooldowns coming through. And now he does get the small health potion on that, and now the Sound Bear, I think Artist is going to be A-okay as the self-destruct comes out from Jim Jam. Zara grab right next to it and Fixed, taken out of this one, 99-99. This doesn't get any closer here as round and around we go for Goldenfish. He's now in the back here. Shoo does fall, Fluxed up next, and I think Sussex might have lost this one, Mana Class.
Yeah, and it was such a turnaround as well because Sussex started off very strong, but then Bustad finally made the switches and made them in time in order to take this map back. Just running it back. I think maybe they even run it back 100 to 99. So that's really impressive as well. Going to go over to the second stage here, and a lot of it's going to depend on who we get. I mean, if we get that. If we get that Sanctuary, it's going to be a much
Mech base,
different story than we get Mech base. We're going to get the Mecha base, or going to be looking good still for RZ on this Doomfist, but we might see a May come out potentially. Doesn't look like any switches are going to be made, but Golden Fish potentially on the Wrecking Ball. That could be interesting.
So
Oh,
here
no.
comes the switch to 3-2-1 for the side of Sussex, right?
Oh.
Odyssey on, yeah, there's gonna be the first DPS based composition they're really gonna play, right?
Yeah, well, any DPS they've played, and honestly on the Sombra. If they continuously hack up our eyes, that could definitely be a very annoying way to play this game for him. Because that Doomfist just really needs his abilities, and if you can't use them, then the Sombra has done her job.
Exactly, Arda is trying to get involved here. There comes the Rocket Punch first. Lizard forced back a little bit, but he's got that shield up and he is getting it done. Flux up getting a little bit of damage against him on that Zarya now. No Diva mechs for him anymore. Sussex trying to strike back here as Golden Fish up in the front, and now everybody for the side of Bustad rotating all around with the assistance of that Cloud Lucio speed boost. Falling, coming against Shu. Now Slizzard, main support, main tank down. We know how this goes.
Yeah, we usually know how that goes, at least in this current meta that they're still playing. But right now, I'm just curious to see if any switches are going to be made once again. Odyssey looking okay on the Sombra, has built up a decent amount of ult charge so far, but needs to get a little bit more done if they want to win this stage, because RIs has still been doing a lot of the Doomfist, and if those hacks are not going to come out on that target, then you really got to wonder if the EMP in itself is going to be enough to warrant running the Sombra.
Shattered down, that's just going to be Flux up mostly taking in it. Lots of damage coming against him, but Riz falling as well. And that's going to be an even 5-5 so far. Swinging away comes from Slizzard. Does get, oh my goodness. Okay, well, we saw how that one went. Slizzard was trying to get it done, but forced to retreat is Sussex after charging off his Golden Fish with his counterpart Slizzard. Golden Fish will be back with his team pretty shortly, and they're in a great position, but Bustad is.
Yeah, they really are coming up to that 50% mark, so really breaking up the percentage. But the EMP is about ready for Odyssey, so this should be the fight that they turn it around. They don't even need that many other ultimates. Just the EMP and maybe the Shadow to combo it with, that should be enough to win a fight.
Oh, that's Artiz and Golden Fish getting stunned there. Him falling first. No EMP necessary yet. There's the middle of the grav, though. Oh, wait, that got... I have no idea what just happened there. Did Golden Fish block that off? Yeah, where did EMP go?
No, the
Okay,
EMP
maybe
went
just
off. The grav, I didn't know where the grav went, but the EMP definitely went off.
Yeah,
Odyssey
nobody,
yeah, so Odyssey actually
Okay.
hacked Riz before throwing out the EMP, which was very nice, because then RZ could run out of the range of it. Unfortunately, they didn't quite get the sound barrier from Cloud out of it, but that didn't really matter. They still won the fight, and that means the sound barrier is gone now, so that's really nice.
Yeah, so not all for naught by any means. I think this 2-2 switch onto Moira was definitely it. Now both Brig ultimates coming out. Fixed and Blizzard keeping their team up, inspired all the way, 20%. Now Shatter coming, but only going to be Fixed falling in that one so far. Big punch against him, Slizzard as well. No shields for the side of Sussex, and this flip will come through soon.
Yeah, it's really looking like that Sombra, I mean, they won the fight with the EMP, but they need more out of Odyssey to really keep warranting running this, because RIS is getting so much more done with vanilla Doomfist than Odyssey is with vanilla Sombra right now. And at some point, you gotta either switch that up or do something else that just helps you get more value out of the Sombra. And yes, they're close to another EMP, but it's gonna be last fight territory, and then they need to win more fights after that without an EMP.
Ara is going up here. Golden Fish is hacked, coming down, getting damaged, but no kills quite yet. There's Slizzard as Blizzard does finish him up. Main tank done for Sussex again. They have a long road ahead of them. Grav coming out against them. Golden Fish is going to get deleted, but that's going to be pretty much it. Jim Jam and Ariz getting a whole lot of damage in there. And first map going over to Bustad.
First map going over to Bustad. They definitely got away with that one, and we're going to see probably a lovely play of the game. I'm curious who it's going to be at, because we didn't have like huge 5Ks coming out from anyone. Gonna be Odyssey on the Zarya. Could be a good play. Let's see what happens here. I don't remember this one, and it's not like it's with a graph, because they're just charging up the percentage really rapidly. And they're just left clicking here, maybe a right clicking in there, but
Yeah, that's really just gonna be, yeah.
Nice chain of kills, and I can't say no to that. It always looks very lovely when a Zarya just beams people down. And let's not forget, that's actually a micro buff that's been coming in to Zarya and Symmetra and even Winston to a degree, and I think Moira as well. Is that beam damage has actually been buffed a little bit on targets, because used to be that we got these really quick switches between targets on those heroes, but they changed it in such a way that the damage is more consistent and lands sooner. So if you quickly swap over a target back and forth, you can actually see the difference between the old and the new Zarya a lot. So it's a few people have shown it. If you can find it online, it looks very nice. But Zarya should be doing more damage right now, which you saw it happen there. She did a lot of damage there.
Yep. I think it's a fair way to call that one. Honestly, with some really good, just really good awareness and tracking, keeping pretty much all of that 100% on that clip of the Zarya cannon on somebody, taking kills left and right. Did obviously end up just finish a couple different players, but the fact that he's able to get there, get that damage in after his teammates started, really is crucial. Obviously, Junkertown next.
Yeah, Junkertown next, and that is we haven't seen the map yet tonight, and it's always a lovely map. And I mean, curiously, we've just seen a lot of 3-3 or 3-2-1, but people call that Ghost variants, but let's just stick with that. Yeah, I mean, likely we could still see it here. I mean, it's still a map where it can work, but I'm hoping for a little bit of a DPS matchup. We've seen Odyssey pop off on Widows before. We've seen the Hanzos come out. We've seen Blizzard Star on those May picks. It's gonna be disappointing if we don't see that, because they've been showing up as MVP so much. So getting into Junkertown here, I really hope we're gonna be seeing some switch ups. Not because I don't want to be casting those same comps all night. That's really not the reason. I'm gonna be completely honest about it. I don't mind seeing it, but you know what? I know how you are as viewers. I look at Twitch chat. I know how that goes. I can already see the Resident Sleeper Goats memes. So, you know what? Let's try and give you a little bit worth for your money, even though you might not be paying for this, because it's Twitch, so you could watch it for free.
Well, that's the goal, right? In a class, getting somewhere that we're casting and everybody who's watching has to pay for it. That's the dream right there. Junkertown coming up. I think it'd be safe to say that, I mean, we've seen before in the past that big bunker compositions, the Protect the Pirate, or Protect the President, Pirate Shape, however you want to call it, especially now with the addition of Baptiste, throwing a Bastion on point and utilizing that invincibility shield up against Goat's composition works every single day.
Oh yeah, and it should as well. I mean, it just does a lot of work, because they either have to destroy the field or they just have to wait until they're allowed to kill you. You can, with the right focus, just make sure that the entire enemy team is low, and then when the field either runs out or you destroy it, you can just kill them straight away because they're low. They don't. I think it's 20% of their total health, so or even 10%, so it's very low. But that is coordination that often doesn't happen, and healing still takes place from a hero like Baptiste, because he does a lot of it in AoE. Right now, though, looks like DPS on the defense, it's going to be actually triple DPS. So we're going to have Cloud, RIs, and Blizzard Star all on the DPS here, and Goldenfish on the solo tank, Orisa. Not a lot of healing from just the Mercy and the Zenyatta, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to work, because if you do enough damage, you don't need to heal.
Pulls comes out, Cog trying to connect with that hook on that one. The triple tank composition coming out from the side of Sussex, excuse me. They have gotten this started in Odyssey with a nasty headshot. Takes out the main support of Stead. I'm not sure if they can really, hold on this after that, man. The Straybird's the only other support. And now we see this double sniper composition just going to town.
May and RIZ also being taken down. Cloud is still around the flank, but is on 1 HP essentially, so will just fall here to Odyssey. And yeah, I mean, they're going to get another opportunity to defend, I think, if they don't stagger any more out, but it's going to be close, and it's going to be rough as well, because they're not close to any ultimates. Closest is Cloud to the Bob, which could still come out. It does a lot of damage, that Ash. And Bob is good at stalling an objective, but Cloud is also the last one to come back, so they need to wait a little bit longer until Bob can do anything.
Goldenfish and more trying to get on out here. Good Maywall by the side of Blizzard Star, but that does, of course, section off Goldenfish. Odyssey getting it done again against Jim Jam. This Mercy not able to live for her life. Bob now coming all the way out here and on top of a nice block, so that's going to be a little bit of coordination between Blizzard Star and Cloud, but Bob is not going to last long. 5 minutes up for Sussex. They're getting rewarded with time left and right.
We're getting rewarded. they need to. I mean, they should be as well because they took it really
Yeah.
quickly. And our switch is kind of coming for the defense. It doesn't look like it. Golden Fish still on this Orisa, just gets taken down straight away. And this fight is not over. It's not really a fight. It's just they're just chasing them into their next spawn.
Oh,
And
man.
they're getting so much information from these sonar arrows as well from Fix. Looking very good and a very different Sussex than we saw from the first series. Running these 3 tank double sniper solo Baptiste composition. This is something we saw a lot in Junkertown before the rollout came in.
Jim Jam now switching on over to the Diva, so doing a little bit of role switching here. Cloud choosing to going over to that Baptiste, getting a decently similar composition to Sussex, but now that Baptiste ultimate coming out. Shushu is there. Oh, Dragons all over! And that invincibility shield does save them on this one, but Ares does get Shushu there at the very last second. Transcendence coming out by Straber, making sure that BU said will be able to push this and continue this fight. Big whole hog coming through, but Straber just puts all the damage in the world right there as both Divas do get out of mech, but that's going to be Fluxed Up who falls, and that's going to be Jim Jam who stays alive. He's going to have his mech back for the next fight, 3 minutes, 50 seconds on the clock.
Straight away, we see that big difference between the 3-3 and the different types of compositions where, yes, they had a lot of ultimates, but they're not the same type of ultimates that you would have in a 3-3. So you cannot rotate and keep just snowballing over your enemy team. Eventually, they're going to have an ult advantage, and that's just what happened here. And it happens a lot quicker than it happens in the 3-3. So that's a large part of why Busted's going to be able to hold on. And with that Blizzard, it's going to be very hard to push through here.
Yeah, very hard indeed, and only harder by the fact that Jim Jam is back in that mech now. Everybody going down to point to hold, and attempted Maywall to try and get Slizzard on the main tank, but he's back away from it. Now here comes a supercharger as well. Both teams actually going to have their damage multiplier coming out, but Slizzard falling first, and Cloud just going crazy on these guys. Odyssey is going to answer for his teammates from the well-placed headshot on that one, but outside of that, that's a BU said team with a very definitive hold.
If they can attack quickly, they might be able to get there before Cloud gets back, and that's basically all their healing because they don't have the trance yet. And they're looking to at least get there before Cloud is really in a good position, but
Yeah.
I think Cloud will make it back about in time. They have the info sights out, but that will not give them enough information to start getting fixed straight away.
Yeah, now Cloud is back, unfortunately, for the side of Sussex, trying to get as much damage as possible around this corner as Slizzard and the Diva Fluxed up here. Odyssey over the top. Last little bit of that Widowmaker hold ends. Now Golden Fish and Blizzard start playing the corners themselves. Straber very, very close to this Transcendence. Star is investing the Dragons now. The pull coming in. Slicer taking a little bit of damage from that, but he's got in that invincibility shield, and they're just trying to constantly push this as Odyssey falling down. The nano boost coming in for Odyssey, looking for heads left and right here as the Substruct comes out, but not placed well enough. Lizard Star is done for the defense, so now offense flowing in here 6-5 as Arez takes a headshot as well. Cog, the main support for the side of Sussex, gone, but Shushu is there as well with the heals left and right. Substruct over the top, and it falls down! Only a well-placed invincibility shield on that as the Transcendence comes out by Straber. Bustad is not done holding this one as Jim Jam is all over this. Slides are getting very low, but that Baptiste is there. Not any longer, though. Straber with a nice headshot.
Yeah, that fight it started so weird because Blizzard Star went on a bit of a back flank, tried to freeze up iFlux up and then throw out the Blizzard, but got taken out while the animation was going out, so lost the Blizzard for no good reason, and then they actually got the pick onto Golden Fish, I think, straight away afterwards. So, but then Cog got traded back, and the trades kept happening. Eventually, they just didn't really make any progress, and now the fight's ensuing again, and Slizzard already falls.
Yeah, Slizzard out there. I just think that Shushu wasn't quick enough with the invincibility shield, or might have had it on cooldown there. Obviously, you want to toss it out for the main tank usually, but Bustad holding well.
Yeah, Bustad. I mean, they're holding very well right now, and like I said before, it's just that ultimate rotation. You don't really have as many incredibly powerful ultimates on the side of Sussex to really break through this. It's not like you can build up an ult bank the size of goats in power level and then just run through it. I mean, they could if they were running it, but they're not running it. They now switch over to the Mei to maybe get that Blizzard, which is a very powerful one, but it doesn't look. It will take them a while. There's 30 seconds left.
Yeah, that's a tall order, but I believe the Fix can do it. He's been flexing left and right here. Now on over to the Mei. These Orisa shields are getting deleted by Slizer just as soon as they come out. Arez with another dragon right down the middle. That invincibility shield going to make sure that these tanks are decently held up. Both invincibility shields now deleted, but it's going to be Stead, who has their Baptiste ultimate out, Flux have taken out a mech, Golden Fish, Blizzards both deleted, lots of healing and damage, both coming on a Jim Jam, and now the anti, that's gonna spell a Sussex W pushing through on this one. Overtime, they're gonna get rewarded with a little bit of time. It's just Arez and Cloud left, just a little bit of cleanup. Okay, there you go, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna get it to the point here. No one's gonna contest that last second. That's never gonna happen. This is not gonna be useful. You're staggering yourself out like that. So right now,
Yeah, not in
looking to
overtime.
go into third, but the defense once again building up to a few good ultimates. You can already just combo the Blizzard to self-destruct, but usually you don't even need to, because if half the team's frozen up, you just kill them. They can't defend themselves. And they even got a Transcendence coming up here for Straybor. The attackers, yes, you got iFluxed up with a self-destruct, and he's been heroic with those in the past. I don't think that's going to be the same thing again, though.
Ooh, Arez taking out the other sniper, Odyssey, not going to find any Widowed headshots yet as the Mailed finishes. That's tossed out a mech instantly as I fluxed up, Cog falling to well-placed headshot, and Morin fixed, actually showing why he's playing this Junkrat right now. Arez not going to finish the rest of this fight, but that's BU said holding. Fix is already to 70% ultimate, though.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you just switched over to the Junkrat already on 70%. That means you have do a lot of damage. Now, sure, you give Cloud the ultimate really quickly because he deals the damage up pretty quickly as well. But Cloud already has the ultimate, so it's not really like you're feeding ultimate charge over to any of the supports because they both have them already. All you're doing right now is building up your own, and that's all you want to do as Junkrat. Build up that ultimate and get him with it, but that's a good amplification matrix.
That is perfect right there. Cloud right in the middle, and Straybird finds another great headshot. Main tank deleted. That's going to take, and the Golden Fish is going to take out Clog in the back. That's going to be Fluxed his own self-destruct, but going to be blocked off by a well-placed wall by Blizzard. Jim Jam getting out of D-Mech and just tossed instantly as Fluxed up. Not going to have much. The tire comes out. And it's just kind of hiding right now, trying to get on over the main tank. It takes out two! So Flux and Sussex are still in here as the Dragons come out again by Rez. We're back into overtime, Mana Class.
Yeah, Cloud and RI is just falling back. They don't want to get staggered out and just let the payload run even further. We actually have Odyssey now back on the Tracer. Tracer hero. She's an amazing hero. Hasn't even been seeing that much play since the 222 came in. Even rarer before that, but is doing a lot of work already, running around at a speed of sound because that's what she does. Supercharger out, and this fight is already looking so good from Sussex.
Yep, and they just forced out a trans by Straber too. Oh no, they come off of it at the last second. Oh my god. Slicer and Shushu getting taken out by Golden Fish and the Hanzo shots at the last second, and the rest of the team was not there. When you're this far into overtime, you can't come off for a quarter of a second. Still Sussex pushing very far forward.
Sorry, they were too afraid of the amplification matrix, I think. I think they're so used to just running away from that, like they were in the last series as well a lot of the time, that they didn't realize. I mean, they realized it was overtime, but it's just a reflex at this point. You see it, you're like, okay, we're gonna take too much damage. Just go around the corner, it'll be fine. And you step away just a little bit too much. The overtime was going for quite a while, just flicks down, and that's where the card's gonna stop. It made it almost to the end though, and with Junkertown, you don't see a lot of teams hold it before like close to the end. So still, they made it quite far. And it could very well be that they have an even better defense. We haven't seen defenses be that powerful tonight just yet. But then again, we've been seeing mostly 3-3, so we don't really have a frame of reference, do we?
Yeah, that's fair. An entirely different beast here with these different compositions, little triple tank, solo DPS. We've seen straight 2-2 and everything else. But like you said, a little bit different. I think that... I mean, Artis just did a great job on the Hanzo consistently with those dragons, right? I feel like every main team fight he was bisectioning off Sussex by tossing dragons literally right on point, right down the middle.
Yeah, they might, and they're gonna try and rush at them. Right now, they have this Widowmaker and this Mei, so they'll be ready for a little bit of a range and close range fight. But with the triple sniper potentially coming out, it's going to be Blizzard Star on the Sombra, actually. I thought they were going to be on the Hanzo with a triple sniper, but that's not going to happen. Still interesting.
Yeah.
They keep running. Oh, they are switching up the Widow, though. So they're gonna choose for a little bit more shield burst, which is definitely something they're going to need against this triple tank. Just a lot more damage. But that's a nice
pull
from Cog. Oh, wow.
Yeah, your Zenyatta is always going to be the absolute worst character to get pulled because it's just so easy for these Roadhogs to hit that big fat Zenyatta body. Just report the news. 3 minutes, 30 seconds. as we see Straber now back.
Ooh.
Cloud actually taking a well-placed headshot, even damage boosted against Odyssey. We saw Shushu making sure to have his invincibility shield on him so he can continue on with these headshots. Well, nice pull there as Cloud getting
Once
deleted
again.
down. Cog is getting it done here with these hog pulls. So, of course, he's assisted by Slizzard's Orisa grenades, but still, now the pull coming out. Great job by Golden Fish, excuse me, to utilize that fortify at the last second. That hook not gonna matter. Pull coming out again. Now Bob getting called out by Cloud here, trying to get it done. Odyssey answering with a couple of headshots, and he is angry. Shushu tossing out and investing the invincibility shield early. Pull coming out in the top, and Golden Fish and more trying to get all the damage they can in. But that is a nice pull again. Cog is not done.
Yeah, and they're not running any of these halt hook counters. They're not running a Diva, they're not running a Rodok of their own, they're not running the Mei. Those are the three things that you do to either answer or play it better than the other team. And with Fixed already on the Mei and I fluxed up on the Diva, they have two counters to the halt hook. So I'm not necessarily blaming them, but oh, look at this. The halt hooks, they keep landing because they have no tools to stop it. And they're not even trying to stop it, really. They're not even avoiding them. It's just happening. And the only one that can really do anything against it is Golden Fish with the Fortify. Wow, another one.
And this is just another pick here in the litter. So Cloud falling on that one. Again, more well-placed headshots by Slizzard and Cog playing that whole hook combination, the pulled pork, whatever you want to call it. And now there's another one. Okay, so they got to do something here. They got to do something.
You really do.
Like
and
you said, it's just
one of
wasting
those.
time.
It's one of those where we keep saying they can keep getting away with it, but they are. So, because you're letting, and I really feel that at this point they have 6 ultimates, but they keep letting them get away with it. And I think that is the main problem. If they're not gonna get any further, that's probably why. But it's a big EMP. Gets 5. Wow.
Bob first, and he's in the middle of everybody. Everybody hacked on that one. Cloud getting deleted, or Cloud's Bob, excuse me, getting deleted down. So that was great awareness and great answer by Sussex. Every ultimate dropping for the side of Busted, except for that Transcendence and the Mercy Valkyries so far. They're getting it done without it necessarily. Now Fixed investing the Blizzard. You're gonna get answered instantly by Straber's Transcendence. Great job holding on to that one till the very end. And Cog, while he is pulling that whole hog, cannot heal himself. 1 minute to go. Be Stead rolling on in. I do believe they will be getting this first point, Mana Class.
Yeah, without those 5 ultimates, they would never have been able to do so, but they almost didn't get it because Shushuba was ready with that Immortality Field, was not hacked up, the only member, and that could have really been problematic because all the healing and the Immortality was still there, and that could have really turned around on their heads. They almost sustained through it to throw out their own ultimates. Right now, Slizer, though, has that supercharger ready, so that could just win the fight outright.
I don't know. I gotta ask. I mean, still, they haven't really changed too much about this. And the big answer is, what are you gonna do for Slizer and Cog's whole hog or pulled pork combination? The hug and the tug has been using so much and just finding so much value. Riz getting taken out by his counterpart here is honestly showing why he's playing one of those tanks. Cog getting another one on this, and I mean, you can't rely on dropping 5 ultimates every time you go up against this pulled pork combination. You got to do something.
No, but I mean, they're charging up their ultimates a little bit quicker now. And Blizzard, Star, and Cloud already up to another 2. Jam still hasn't used that Valkyrie, so they are ultimate number-wise actually ahead of where Sussex is right now. But like we've pointed out with that halt hook, the vanilla composition of Sussex just looks to be better because they have more pick potential behind the shield than BU Stead does.
Especially
and
without
until BU
ultimates,
Stead,
right?
yeah, and they're gonna run in out with the EMP, so that changes the dynamic. There will be no hook, no halt, but they still need to get the picks afterwards.
There it is. Everybody but Fix taken out in that one, but doesn't matter because Odyssey and Slizer both have their eyes on the prize and mind on the money. Taking out 2 on that one, gonna be going up against a BU Stead team that was 4-6, but now with a nice res on the Golden Fish. Odyssey making sure that this other support is not present. Blizzard started going on over to the Mei now. Finally, as Shushu trying his best to keep everybody up, Cog and company mostly taking picks on this one.
Yeah, they're finally gonna mirror this a little bit with Jam and Blizzard Star, switching over to those classic halt hook counters. You can eat the halt, you can block off the hook, you can do everything really with the Mei and the Diva, and I think that's really gonna do a lot for BU Stead, but is it too late? That's the main question. Blizzard still gets hooked in here.
Oh, nice window now by Shushu. That's gonna boost damage and healing by 2 times. Slizer now putting down that wall, but that was a very well-placed Hanzo Dragons, forcing everybody out here, but Cog is just going crazy. Now Cloud deleted, the invincibility shield not able to keep him up. Cog does have that whole hog, and he doesn't even need to use it.
Very nice adaptation from Cog, because usually when a dragon comes down, you're like, okay, so I'm trapped in this thing, I need to get out of here. But he actually read in further to get that. Now the Blizzard or the Freeze comes down to Cog, but they're not going to be able to do anything with it. Supercharger is going to be probably useless here.
Oh man, Odyssey tossing that one out there and getting Cloud again. No invincibility frisbee for him is Straber using the aggressive Transcendence to try and set this one up. Nice pull there. Blizzard Star almost falling. He does. Slicer getting the shots in there. The very last second. Both of these Mays deleted. Not going to see any Blizzards from either side. Fix has his, as does Blizzard Star. Now coming out there, the Baptiste ultimate setting up a big pick against Riz. A huge source of the damage from Bustad going to be deleted as they're forced all the way back.
15 seconds is going to be the last push, and yes, they have some ultimates to work with, but so does the defense of Sussex. The main thing that's going to be there is the Blizzard off. Who's going to get the better Blizzard?
Better Blizzard indeed. Golden Fish being taken out there. Self-destruct over and taking out two Odyssey and the Supercharger on the side of Slizer. Both Blizzards coming onto point now, but that's all blue in the kill feed. We have one tank down bottom. We have one tank up top. Cog trying to come back around here, but I do believe Bustad is held.
I think they weren't they weren't ready for the self-destruct to come into the position where it was. But Sussex still has the tanks there, and the tanks either need to do something really big or die really quick. I think they can still come back before this payload reaches the second checkpoint, but it's gonna be close. And the ultimates aren't really there for the defense.
Yeah.
It's only the whole hog, and it's gonna be, I mean, a lot of damage, a lot of sustain here for the attackers of Bustad, because they've got the Transcendence. They will have also the Amplification Matrix.
Slizer and Cog just so slow coming back. Neither of these characters do have those movement abilities. Riz taking out his counterpart early. That's not going to bode well for the side of Sussex as Bustad comes a-rolling. More kills in the kill feed. But now we have Blizzard Star all over there, and Bustad cannot afford to come off of this. Whole log invested by Cog, but not able to keep it up throughout all of this with only one healer on the side. Blizzard Cog both deleted. Blizzard Star making sure to make mincemeat of these players left and right. Now Bustad pushed in and rewarded a minute and a half for their efforts.
And it's going to be a very close one, because a minute and a half is not a lot for the third point. There's a lot of space you need to take, a lot of fights you need to win. And the defense spawns being so close is going to make this a really rough one. And let's not forget that there weren't that many ultimates used here from the defense. They realized they only need to win one fight, and that is probably going to end the map here and just tie up the series. So they're getting fixed up with this Blizzard. They're getting Odyssey with the Dragons. It's going to be a very close one still.
All
Cloud.
six are here as Cloud falls first. Main support for the side of Bustad. They only have Straber outside, and they realize that, and they're coming back. Smart move by them. Very smart move by them.
Yeah, don't keep fighting that one. You don't have that many fights left. It's probably even going to only be one, and maybe a very short last minute one. Though it's really up against. They're really up against it, and they're really up against the clock and the old bank of the defense here.
Fix is 65% ultimate. Slizer is gumming up on that soon. Sussex definitely in a better position in this one as the Dragons do come down bottom. Fix gonna be first. Not gonna see anything from him. Golden Fish as well. He did get that sound of the Supercharger out, but that got deleted down by Cog and more. So now the Cloud window coming out here for the side of Bustad. Self-destruct does take out Odyssey and the invincibility shield. Fluxed up, getting involved with this. Self-destruct over the top as well as we hit 5 seconds to go here. Golden Fish has switched on over to that Hammond just for the stall all the way through. Wall coming out here, and Fixed knows what to do. Freeze coming into both tanks here as Blizzard trying to get back with the rest of his team. Transcendence invested for the side of Cog. Now switching on over to that Zenyatta. Golden Fish making sure to not come off this point yet, and Blizzard again is still all over there, but Golden Fish getting taken out. Sussex getting the damage in here left and right. It's just Blizzard left back on point, and the freeze coming against him as Cloud tries to get involved, and not gonna last on this one. Sussex has taken this one, tying it up 1-1.
That's it. That is the last one you really needed. That was amazing. Like, there was just the control of Sussex throughout, especially that second point and that last point. All they needed was for Fix to get the Blizzard up. That was what we were waiting. I was constantly watching that ult percentage, and it was just going up and up and up and up, and Blizzard was lagging too far behind. If that had been an equal Blizzard fight, maybe that goes another way. But this was also, like I said, this was a beautiful play by Cog where you just saw the Dragons come at him, and he just walks into the hallway just to say, you know what, you might throw the dragon out, but if I'm not in the dragon, it doesn't really do anything to me, so I'll just take you out. And that's exactly what happened. But nice second map. Looks like we're tied up. It's what we were. I wouldn't say they were necessarily hoping for it, but
Well,
wow,
I like
just
the close games, man, class. I do like the close
yeah,
games, and 1-1 is as close as we can get right now.
obviously.
Can't exactly expect a nice flashy reverse sweep like we had last match. Of course, Sussex taking that over Cambridge. So what these teams are fighting for, I don't believe we talked about prizes actually yet. So first place here in the NUEL. Each player going to get $40 in BlizzBucks. Obviously, that's a solid little chunk off the the new Call of Duty or something like that. Third or second place is going to get $30 off of their new Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, or whatever they so choose to purchase. Third place, I do believe, Cambridge has gotten that the $15 per player, and again, each of those players getting the figures I just stated.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And honestly, I mean, BlizzBucks, you can do a lot with that. You can even buy loot boxes if you want to. I mean, we just had a new hero, so if you want a lot of those new items, that's something
Oh
that
yeah.
would be very helpful to you. I mean, I personally, I'm one of those people that like has all the items, so I just get all the new things in the loot boxes. I don't need that many of them, but I could definitely imagine. I mean, you see a few of these people in the lobby here that have like still the bronze account portrait, and usually you don't have that many items yet at that point. So I
Mm-hmm.
definitely would. I definitely, would consider maybe buying it, maybe for an event at some point. I don't know. BlizzBucks are always, and Blizzard, maybe Overwatch 2. Could also be something to save up for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be the long investment on that one. Blizzard Bucks obviously used for a bunch of different stuff. I'm definitely with you on the cosmetic items. I can't say that I've ever spent money on purchasing loot boxes, but definitely saved them up and binged opened myself some loot boxes. Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Currently, we're looking at obviously going into the next map as soon as possible. We're going to go into Volskaya. Next one, going to be Assault 101 in the series, so it's not the last map, which is something different than we saw in the last series where they were up 2-0 at the half. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I'm not entirely sure. I think we might be swapping sides here a little bit. Let's just check if that's actually allowed and whether it's in the rule set because I'm not sure.
That would
I
make
think they
sense if it
can.
was.
So
Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
let's just swap sides. Yeah, why not?
Easy peasy.
Okay, let's do that. Sure. There we go.
And
I'm
swap
sorry,
over
guys. I'm
through.
also doing the lobby at the same time just to make sure that everything goes fairly. But yeah, right now we're obviously looking at a 1-1. We've seen two very different maps, different styles of play, even not because the map's different, because they played very different styles.
Yeah.
So Biusted doing very well with the Doomfist style of composition around the 3-2-1. But then Sussex showing up very well with the Halt Hook combination. Now, granted, I think we've both commented on this, basically saying, you know what, maybe Biusted should have done a little bit more to fight against the Halt Hook on Junkertown when they were attacking. Maybe they
Yeah.
could have, maybe they should have. But you know what? We cannot go into the whole could have, should have, would have thing because if we do that, then what are we doing this for anymore? We gotta look at the facts, look at what actually happened, and they just couldn't quite get to the end. They still got very close, and the series has been close. And if that's anything to go by, I think we're not going to be done for a little bit.
Yeah, I could definitely see him at Game 5 as well, especially if these maps do continue like Junkertown just was. We saw Sussex, taking up to second point and then into third almost the entire way in overtime, stuff like that. You don't get that much more exciting. Volskaya next, 2CP.
Yeah, Volskaya, and this is one of my favorite 2CP maps. I personally am not really a lot of people are critical of 2CP, but especially with the changes that have come in and in general the way that the mode works, I've never really had that much against it. I think for me the most important thing about Overwatch is variety, so that you don't get 4 2CP maps or 4 hybrid maps or 4 of anything in a row. And yeah, I mean, obviously we don't do that in this tournament, so everyone should be happy and content with everything, right? That's how that works.
Everyone should be happy and content with everything. What a positive statement here by Man in Class in the NUEL finals. I completely agree with you, buddy. We're looking at Biusted. Yeah, Biusted on the right in red, Sussex on the left in blue, Sussex on defense. So far showing the Orisa Diva composition. Cog on the main support of the Mercy, Shushu back on his Zenyatta.
Obviously, they've swapped over the over sides now, which is a very interesting thing they did. Going to be, I hope we're not going to be too confused by it as casters. I don't think we are. But,
it is definitely bamboozled me before.
Who knows? Don't get bamboozled too much. Like you said, right now we see the Orisa Diva defense coming out again, running the Mei onto Fix, which is been working well for them, but they don't have the Roadhog this time around. So it's not going to be that same halt hook dynamic, which means that the triple DPS composition from the attack is going to get a lot more done without being hooked all the time.
Yeah, very good point. Perhaps, I mean, Fluxed Up has been playing out an absolutely nutty diva. Perhaps they are anticipating something kind of like this. Modified dual sniper solo tank with the Blizzard Star pharmacy combination up in the air. I can definitely see this working for BU said for first point. And as I say that, Blizzard Star and his pocket get a first one already. Odyssey falling on that one. Cog not able, at least yet, to be able to get up there for the res. And as I say that, Fluxed Up getting taken out of mech and deleted instantly is not a great next step. Cloud taking out the main support Cog for the side of Sussex is not a better step from that. And with 3 minutes 20 seconds on the clock, we're gonna see BU said rewarded with a couple more minutes on Volskaya.
And you know it's a quick fight when no one's gotten further than 50% of their ult charge. That's what you're looking at that point.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see Cloud on the Ashe instead of the Widowmaker, which is normally what you see with a double sniper. But expecting a heavier comp to come out on the defense, it makes sense, because that Dynamite can just do a lot together with Blizzard Star's rockets. They've swapped over to the Orisa Hog now, Odyssey onto the McCree, so there will be a little bit more anti-air, and the Halt Hook is back, which there's no defense against once again.
Yep, Slizer and Flux Up, excuse me, going to be looking to get that one done, but Cloud taking a first initial pick against Shoo Shoo is going to be great. Fix falling after he takes out Blizzard Star with a well-placed headshot, that invincibility shield doing what it needs to for now, but Jim Jam got the res on a Blizzard. He's going to be raining down fire here in just a second as Slizzard does get that, dynamite damage against, and this Bob is about to go to town here. 2 different kills on that, assisted by Riz, and Flux Up on the Hog is the only one left. Now we have the May, so Fix is going to do his part to stall this one out. Frozen all the way down, but we do see Goldenfish all over him. That's not going to last very long. Odyssey back on over to his Tracer, forced to recall very quickly on that one. Shoot, going with the Moira for the group heals on this one does make a lot of sense. Ours getting absolutely bamboozled by Odyssey on the Tracer, and it looks like Sussex is able to stabilize this one. Well done.
Yeah, Cog even coming back here with that Baptiste getting a few final hits there. I think both on Jam Jam and Blizzard Star. So you take that, they take the air assault finally out of it, and now Odyssey now going over to the Sombra. I think they're gonna make Goldenfish's life a living hell. I think that's their main point, because who else is gonna get close to them? Not really anyone, because it's scary to get close to that Orisa Roadhog.
Yeah, the Hammond. I mean, that's really the main trick in Hammond's book, right? Getting up close and personal, hitting people around. If there's environmental kills, take them. But otherwise, hitting them with the projectiles. And then here's the mines up front. But you know, with this new buff, they're really far apart. And there's this freeze. Goldenfish taken out, and Blizzard Star with the pocket at 4K. Okay, that's gonna make for an easy BU stead take. Everybody on the side of Sussex has been deleted. Cog's back, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to get there. Slizzard trying. Very last second does get in there, but all the damage in the world takes out Slizzard instantly. Nobody else able to even get close.
Yeah, they had so much attention on that wrecking ball, on just the front line there of BU stead, that you could just sneak in behind them as that far damage boosted barrage.
What was it that I was saying, that there's only one thing Heyman can do?
Yeah, he definitely distracted a lot out of them.
It was prove me wrong, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Honestly, I really appreciate what they did. I do think though that the Sombra wasn't in the right position in order to react to any of it. The mines came in, forcing them all into that corner, and then the heads up play, you know, saying, you know what, they're all in that corner. Just come around, Blizzard Star. You can get a few kills. You get at least 1 or 2. Manages to get 4, and you know, if you get 4, then usually on assault, that's not going to be a good defense anymore.
Yep, generally not. 4 minutes to go. For the side of BU Stead on that attack, we're now looking at Sussex on attack. 4 minutes is a tall order, my man. 4 minutes is a tall order.
It is, but not as tall as 5 minutes 4, which you saw in the last series on Anubis.
Yeah,
so
I remember that.
It's you know, it's definitely possible here, and of course we see very different playstyles coming out from both of these teams. And with only the Orisa on the defense, on 2CP, having a solo tank defense is a lot more problematic than you'd think. You don't have that much point presence, and if they're gonna play this dive like they look like they are, it's gonna be very rough to defend against that, because it can just keep running around your Orisa and taking out everything else. Your Orisa cannot really keep up with that.
I mean, the triple DPS is going to have their work cut out for them, taking out Slizzard on the Winston, Fluxed Up on the Diva. You throw a pharmacy combination up top now with Cog and Fixed, And this, yeah, that's just going to be rough. I would really interested to see how Golden Fish deals with this one.
I am as well. Golden Fish not setting up in the choke, of course, because that's a little bit too risky. Can just run around you that way. They do get into this room on the defenders right here. The dynamite does catch Shushuba, but no, that won't never really kill an Ana. Not just the dynamite at least. Now they're gonna dive into the high ground and they're gonna look to initiate, but they're still waiting a little bit for the next cooldowns, I think.
Yeah, just a couple cooldowns here is Fixed and Cog getting it done from the top. This Arista shield of Golden Fish is not really able to live that long, and now the rotation's coming through here. Sussex coming up, and now that's fluxed up over the top. Cog trying to get that point presence. There you go. Now getting a little bit of that, able to take a little bit of damage, but now back up with Flux to take that one. A hack coming against Shushu, and oh, Golden Fish is rounding that corner, almost took out the supports here. Odyssey getting a little bit low, but he's got Slizer right there in the main tank, providing him cover and damage. Now it's going to be Golden Fish exclusively onto point. He's just pouring out this damage, and he does get a couple himself as Cloud does take out 2 there, and that is what this defense needed.
Cloud popping off in the end, that was really what they needed, because they were getting very close to being taken over there. I'm surprised that first stick didn't come through, because they had plenty of opportunity to stand there. But then again, I know that you need to take out those DPS on the other side. Odyssey going over to the Tracer didn't get that much done hacking anyone. And with all these defensive ultimates now, especially that Bob and EMP, this is going to be such a hard one to attack, and they really need to not linger too much on point A and point B together with the time bank they have.
Yeah, because we're down to 2 minutes here. First 2 minutes has been eaten up by the defense. They'll get 3 more win if they do take this, but they have to make, they have to put this to the next one. Strayboard with a nice headshot on Odyssey. Honestly, the Tracer killing this Zenyatta is usually the one you see there, but Strayboard with the nice flick shots. This offense is going to be fighting down 1 as Odyssey is back now, opting to hold down bottom. Golden Fish does have that supercharger. They're close to both support ultimates as well, and that would be a full bank for them. 1 minute 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, this is full as a full dive can get. Fixed on the Genji. Also, the Tracer is go in there, try to do as much damage as they can, but Bob is already out. This is looking so bad for the attackers right now.
Slizer just hacked and he wasn't able to pull that primal, but as I say that, Rara is falling there in the end. Bob is all over point, and the res comes through. Jim Jam with the courageous one on that. Slizer hacked again, not able to pull the primal rage. Cloud finally gets taken out as a little bit of progress does come on a point. EMP now, Dragons coming out. Slizer still holding on to the primal rage, hasn't been able to use it in a little while because of those hacks. Now he's all over them in here, and there's the primal rage, and he's going to town inside.
Yeah, it's amazing. Honestly, Slizer they just pull that one back, and the ults were definitely looking in favor for the defense. They just managed to overwhelm them, not get in there for too long, and just deny the ultimate value that was there. No, I mean, the EMP, the Bob, the Dragon, everything they had, it just didn't get the value that it needed to. And now they're going to swap over to this Rissa Roadhog, but the only thing they're close to is the Transcendence, and the attackers are getting closer and closer to the Nano Blade. So who's going to get there first? I think it's Strayboard, but if they get that first pick on the Zenyatta, that could be huge.
It could be indeed. Aura is switching on over to the Reaper to try and deal with this monkey a little bit. Nice hook coming in. Slizer getting deleted down as soon as he is present. Flux up getting demeched, and now, yeah. We're just going to have to see Sussex come all the way back on that one. They tried their hardest, and that's just how it goes sometimes. After the switches, I can see, yeah, I mean, Shushu and Fixed, that nano boost, I really think is going to get it done. If Blizzard Star can respond and freeze him, that'll shut it down right in its tracks, though.
Yeah, the Transcendence in itself can be really big. You need either really good anti-nade or just a mispositioning from the Zenyatta, maybe an early pick. Odyssey now going over to that Reaper, and Shushuba actually going over to the Moira, so no Nano Blade whatsoever. I don't know if the Vanilla Blade is going to get anything done regardless of whether their Transcendence online or not, because it's just not that powerful of an ultimate anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, not that powerful ultimate anymore, and definitely not without the nano boost assistance. So defense posturing down bottom. Jim Jam and Golden Fish looking to get it done first. Flux up getting all the damage in the world. He is able to get back up, but not before getting popped out of mech. Artiz and more just getting all the damage in the world against him. 600 goes very quickly as the pull comes through against BU Stead, but that's not going to be enough because they take out 5 Fluxed up. 2 minutes to go, and this is a Sussex team that needs to regroup.
BU Stead now showing up with their own tricks, and I would say Fix. It's nice that you have a blade, but just don't, and that's exactly what he's not gonna do.
Yeah.
Just use the old dashes back to spawn, because that Genji, you at some point you just realize that you're not supposed to do that anymore. Goes over to the Mei. I'm happy. I think Fix is gonna be happy because the Mei is a really fun hero to play, in my opinion. But there's so many ultimates on the defense. They really need to have one good dry push, a quick one, drag out all those ultimates, get some of their own, and then get a pick, get a good push. Because within 1.5 minutes, they need to cap B, otherwise they won't get another attack and they won't be able to win this.
Yeah, at the end of the day, all they really need to do is spend as much time on point as they can, and again, bait out some of these ultimates. Flux up coming out with the self-destruct. Not gonna matter, that blocked off. Slizer following Arez as well, so team's fighting 5-5 as the supercharger does come out for the defense. BU Stead finding all the value in the world from this one so far as the Jim Jam Whole Hog gets it done, taking damage there, following it up on Odyssey with a nice hook headshot. 1 minute to go. Shoo taking the right path on that one, and a Sussex team that did get a couple of those ultimates out.
They definitely did, but now there's going to be the Blizzard, there's going to be the Death Blossom. They're nowhere close to that on the side of Sussex. So they really need to get something going here, but 45 seconds with the sustain that's there on the defense, I don't think you're ever going to be able to get them off the point and cap it within the next 40 seconds. So this looking like, at best, a draw for Sussex, but with the way that BUstead's been playing, I don't know.
Slides it up in the front, getting super low, but getting assistance from his team. There's the Blizzard. Blizzard Star getting done here as Golden Face does get taken out, and as I say that, Boosted all over that one. They have 18 seconds, and without switches instantly to some kind of Hammond with the Tracer, with Lucio, that's not going to matter.
Yeah, there's a quick, clean swipe there. Blizzard Star just freezing up the Diva, heads up play, throws at the Blizzard straight after, because you cannot eat it that way. And yeah, they just clean it up afterwards. 1 second, and Odyssey is not quick enough on that Reaper. Busted getting up 2-1 in the series. And that means that they can close out the entire series and win this whole thing in the next map. But Sussex, not out of it just yet. We've seen them come back on Junkertown if they get their map pick. Could very well go to map 5 here.
Absolutely. They made value with it last time. Makes sense to do it again. Slizard, this was such a beautiful primal. He had been trying at this for, what, 30, 45 seconds. Blizzard Star was doing a great job of hacking him. It was just the third or fourth time in a row, wasn't able to hack him, so he was able to pull that primal, go up to 1,000, and just beat everybody against the walls.
Yeah, and like obviously they got a very good. I was really not expecting them to win that fight at all because of the immense ult bank and especially the EMP that was there for Busted, but they managed to pull it out. That was very impressive from them. Now we're going over to hybrid. It could very well be that, like, once again, Busted can close it out. But Sussex, they've showed that they can do something on Junkertown. Maybe they could do something. I'm sorry about that. on Eichenwald again, because they did show up on Eichenwald last series as well. And Eichenwald has been showing to be an interesting map. Obviously, once again, different series. They're not playing the 3-3, so it could go in a very different direction. But I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Sussex.
You know, they've already played here. They've already played a competitive match in here, in a format obviously a little bit different, but it's still Eichenwald. I can imagine the Busted definitely warmed up before this game, but this is the finals, no more room for error. But Busted up 2-1 in the series. Sussex is really gonna have to show up again. Maybe the fluxed up and slizzard whole hog, or the pulled pork again, the hug and tug, whatever you want to call it, the Orisa roadhog. It's just such a classic one that you don't have to invest ultimates for.
Yeah, definitely. And once again, we're going to be swapping sides as well. Just making sure that everyone is comfortable where they want to be, give everyone the advantage that they want. So Sussex Sharks gonna attack first here, and yeah, I don't really know if we're gonna see anything different from them. Obviously, we've seen more DPS being played now finally in this series, so it's very possible that we're gonna see more of that. I'm definitely not expecting the 3-3 to come back out. I mean, it could definitely work still on first to attack it. He's running in with a Reinhardt can be very impactful, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the 3-3. You can still run a lot of DPS with that. You can still run the Mei with it, for instance. And yeah, it's all to play for still. 2-1 for Busted. Can they close it out? That's why we're going to Eichenwald here.
Absolutely. We'll find out at Eichenwald. Something I definitely want to see Mana Class I'll say. I really, really want to see an effective Blade. You know, give it a
Yeah,
nano boost,
okay.
hark back to season 2, let it sing, see how it goes. Obviously, at the time you had the Transcendence. I want to see. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. I will say the maps that we've mostly seen the Genji work on are the ones with a static control point and mostly assault. Because especially like a map like Temple of Anubis, where you have all that high ground mobility that Genji doesn't need a cooldown for because you just can passively
Yep.
climb up there. It's just something that's very helpful to snowball into B with a nano blade. Not so much on most other map stuff because the street space is very open. You can fall back very far and you can see that blade coming from a mile away and really do something against it. Whereas, I mean, you kill them, but then you still need to push the payload further. You still need to push everything further after that. So it's
I hear
not
you.
the same as on assault.
I hear you, mid class. I will dare to dream for the nano blade on
Oh,
on
you
Icon
can.
Vault.
You definitely can. I'll allow you. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. I
Appreciate
won't
it, good
crush your
sir.
dreams straight
Appreciate
away.
it.
But oh yeah, the defense
Alright,
here.
so
We're gonna
from
see the
the-
McCree and
Yep.
the May coming out here as a DPS combo. Cloud and Strabo are gonna run that Zenyatta and the Baptiste once again. Jam Jam on the Diva though, because they're expecting maybe a Fire to come out, I suppose. And you can still do something against the Hull Hook this way, but the only thing is they won't have it themselves.
Yeah, no, that does make sense. Does make sense. Foregoing it themselves to try and counter against it, and so far, Flux and Slizzard are going to be showing that. Riz on the McCree, so they're going to have 2 DPSs with huge stun capabilities. Not against that one as well.
Oh, nice
Fix
wall.
investing. Yeah, they have Fix investing that wall so far, but actually Sussex didn't decide to push through on that one. Now they're trying to take corner on this as the pull comes out. Blizzard Star, excuse me, almost getting taken out by that one a little bit early, getting a lot of damage on him, forced him down into his ice block. Pull coming out, lots of damage there, but Flicked up trying to anticipate that one. Hook coming over the top and not going to find anything from it, but the entire side of BU set is very high up on Ultimate except for Jim Jam and Riz.
Yeah, they're getting there. Definitely getting there. But Cog also has the amplification matrix, so they can definitely throw it out. They're gonna do that as the attackers, and the responding one is also their Strabor already right-clicking it down.
Yeah, wow. So Jim Jam did get pulled in there, but Strabor and company were able to utilize that Baptiste window pane a little bit better. Main tank deleted and offense forced to come on back. 1 minute burns off the clock, so 2 minutes 45 left.
2 minutes 45, and it's a lot of time. So you plenty to work with, but they gotta get up to some of these ultimates, and they only got up to the amplification matrix. So they really need to do a little bit more of that range damage. And the shield with Golden Fish is just such a burden for them.
He's been getting some really good positioning on these shields so far. Blizzard coming out against the offense. That's to me the Cog invincibility shield falling first. Flux, Odyssey, Shushu, Ku, Cog, all deleted on that one. All shall fall in the cold.
All shall fall in the cold, and it's not the Game of Thrones combo with Song of Ice and Fire that we're seeing here, because the Torbjorn hasn't been run that much lately, but it doesn't really matter when you just freeze them all up and you don't need anything else to follow up on it. They have still so much in the bank, but now the ultimates are coming aligned for the attack. So it's going to be a close one this next fight, but the defenders with that positional advantage could very well come out ahead with this again.
I mean, like you mentioned, offense is coming up on a few ultimates, but the way Blizzard Star has been playing this May, it's going to be super hard for Sussex to get any piece of this point so far. Dragons coming out here, Slizard falls first again, and the Dragons not able to delete this, the Arista power supercharger, excuse me, Arias taking out Flux up here as offense again playing off the back foot.
Office playing. I mean, come on. They have a lot of ultimates now. They should definitely be able to do something. But if Slizard keeps falling early, if they cannot really get the ultimates out at range, which against the Diva, you don't just want to toss that Blizzard in there.
Oh, yeah.
And they got to get close first in order to get value out of anything. And with Riz and Blizzard Star, and even Strayboard is doing so much damage from range, they're having a lot of trouble getting this done.
Now, yep, this is a Bustad team that realizes that there's 1 minute left. They're pulling back, and this could be one of the final nails in the coffin of Sussex. If you see a full hold here by Bustad, this is the one they need to win. Pull coming in, that's going to be A-okay because they're tossing up a self-destruct. That's going to be Arias taking out Cog in the middle of everything, making it 12 o'clock for him as you see a Sussex team very low. We have 35 seconds to go. You have got to come back now.
You gotta either get a lot of picks now to turn it back, but they didn't. They did get a late kill onto our eyes, so they might be able to get in without the McCree staring them in the face. But in the meantime, the Blizzard again gets used by Blizzard Star, and that's 2 for him and 0 for Fix that have been used so far. You really need to get that Blizzard out at some point, and they're not able to get close enough to that D.Va to either freeze her up or do anything. I thought they were maybe going to do it during the self-destruct, but apparently not. And now Our Eyes is back. They're getting through the choke safely, but now this is where the fight's going to have to start.
2 seconds, 1 second. Blizzard barely touches that at the end as trades come through here. The Maywall is down. Now, Straper with the Transcendence, making sure everybody's gonna be gravy and not frozen through that one. Coming up on first tick of progress for Sussex as the Dragons come through in the back. Odyssey not getting a whole lot from that one. Now we're at 50% as members falling. Shoo, Odyssey done. Huge sources of damage. Now Fix deleted. And that is BU Stead holding at 47% on first point on Eichenwald.
And it just, every single push, it felt like there was something missing there for the side of Sussex. It wasn't that they didn't have the pieces to work with, but the execution just wasn't quite there. And on the other side of BU Stead, they just pulled back exactly where they needed to. They came back, they rotated, they did everything right. The ultimates got the value they needed. It was just a very beautiful defense from them. And with 47.2% to capture, BU Stead is looking very good in order to close out the series and get the championship of the Overwatch Campus Clash in the summer.
Seriously, man, this has been a long haul. Been casting this one since, I believe, day one. Not 100% sure. This could be where it all ends on Eichenwald. All shall fall. And, I mean, BU Stead had a fantastic hold there. Arias on the McCree set that up in so many ways. Blizzard Star as well on the May. The DPS core for the side of Busted just really set this up.
Yeah, they're gonna try. They're gonna try it with a Bastion potentially, but the they're gonna maybe do something with an Orisa teleporter. And if I see exciting play, it's usually with an Orisa teleporter. They could very well do it. There used to be this thing where you could go over the first roof, like that collapsed roof. I don't know if you can still do it, but I don't know where else they're gonna teleport. They could maybe go to the left or to the right. I don't exactly know what the angles are here, but that rollout looked really cool in the past. But like I said, I don't know if you can still do it. I heard it was patched out. Right now, though, we're going to see a defense that's set up with 3 tanks, Solo Heal Baptiste, and the Mei Hanzo, which is looking very meta, very strong. But if they manage to teleport correctly, it could all go to shambles really quickly.
Yeah, this is really dependent on Blizzard Star's teleportation placement. If Cloud gets set up, that's going to be bad news for Sussex. What is great news for Sussex, though, is Odyssey getting a nice headshot onto the main support, the Mercy of BU Stead so far, and what's even better news is following it up with a Blizzard Star kill. So, we're going to see a Hanzo already up to 22%. I honestly kind of thought he would have gotten more across 2 kills, but that's going to be a-okay. Straver, highest on the side of BU Stead.
Don't forget the ultimate cost has been increased, so that's probably why you may be expecting a little bit more. But I mean, they still haven't really done anything with the teleporter just yet. It looks like they're now getting set up to maybe do something with it. But these Hanzo arrows and just every damage coming from defense is just a lot to take here, and they're just running into them. They don't want to let them get set up.
Oh, getting on in there. Cog knows how to get it done. Riz next as the Riz does come through for Goldenfish, but Jam is not going to have too much in there. That Bastion trying to set up down bottom, and Odyssey is not going to let him. Then now the teleporter finally comes through as Blizzard Star tries through himself first. And that is not going to last, my friend. Slizzard and Fluxed Up both getting headshots on that. Jam falling, main support down for the attack. BU Stead forced to come all the way back.
I've been 2 attacks where they just haven't been able to get anything done. Sure, they might be able to do something now that they have the Amplification Matrix. If you set up that Bastion behind the Orisa shield with the Immortality field, it's going to be amazing damage. Just double damage Bastion, just shreds everything. And does look like they might want to go. Oh, they teleport straight into them!
Oh, no, it's on the other side. They're all over this. Bastion's now down, trying to pour out the damage, but there's the Blizzard stopping the attacks, attempts right in its tracks. That is what's known as a team kill in the business.
Yeah, 1 ultimate, complete team wipe. They're going to be very happy about that. I mean, Fix is just completely turning this one around the May. Good wall so far. Nice Blizzard placement there. Just a good reaction overall. And Jam, I mean, you might be ready to eat that potentially, but I don't think... It might be in the middle of the teleportation process. I don't know exactly what happened there, but Jam is normally the one that eats that. Oh, he was still in the Bastion, of course. I forgot about that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, all gravy, all gravy. No ultimates on the side of the offense so far. The closest they have is Goldenfish's supercharge on the Orisa, but going against 5 ultimates, they're going to have to force Sussex on the defense to drop at least a couple of these if they have a serious shot at wanting to get on in this. Now, supercharge coming out from Slizer first, Dragons coming in from Odyssey second. Not going to find anything on that one, but while in the thick of things, Blizzard Star is going to find a nice headshot against Shushu. Goldenfish getting punished for his aggression on this one, so the healer for the side of Sussex is done and gone for. Shushu's going to be coming back in just a second. He does have that ultimate on board. Self-destruct coming over the top. Flux trying to make the most of it. Oh, blocked off there. Nicely done indeed as well. And now Shushu is back here. Cloud following the Baptiste for the BU Stead side.
Yeah,
60
they had to
seconds
capitalize
to
on
go.
that quicker, because if the Baptiste is gone and it's their only source of healing, you have to capitalize on it. But there was so much power coming out from the defense. They had the ultimates, they had Slizer's supercharger, then they had the whole hog, and the walls are still there. The self-destruct came out, so they had all the ultimates to just essentially stall out. That's exactly what they did. And now the attackers, yes, they have some ultimates to work with, but they only have 30 seconds. This is the fight that could decide the championship, guys.
It is. Baptiste, window pane coming out. Great block by the May next. And now here comes the Dragons again, right down the middle. That does get a little bit of damage, but the invincibility shield is there. Goldenfish's supercharger getting deleted down the middle of things. The slides are getting very, very low. Shushu really trying to keep up with everybody on this one. There's the Blizzard that's got both tanks and Slizer. Does have his fortified, but Cog does not. There's the invincibility shield coming out in the end, but Blizzard's Hard makes mincemeat of that one quickly. 5 seconds to go here, and we have members on point now. The contest coming through here, down to the last few seconds. Jam getting deleted out instantly as Blizzard Star is now back on the Hanzo, but it's just Baby Diva, and I think we see Sussex pushing this to a game 5. Straber is back, and now we have Lucio, now we have Riz and the Doomfist. This is a game, 1 pick, 2 picks, it's just the Hammond left, and now we have a healer getting deleted. No, Slicer takes him. This might be it as we see round and round spinning for Goldenfish here. Jam does have his self-destruct left, and now the Artis comes in, takes out the main support. Shushu on the Moira, not able to get away from him on that one as Artis does get taken down by all the damage in the world. Goldenfish is all over this one, still spinning around. Diva is here now, back. Jam has it, but gets all the damage. The shot coming up, the self-destruct trying, and does get Cog. Oh my god, Sussex doing everything they can to try and get back into this one. They do not want this going to 47. Diva Mech coming up, Flux taking it, and that's it!
They hold!
Sussex Sharks hold again, pushing to another game 5.
Wow. And with Goldenfish keeping spinning to win, did barely get any damage. I really thought they might be able to all get back, but then they do the exact same thing on the other side. They get the better self-destruct and the better Hammond just spinning around in the end, and that closes it up, but that was so close. That last fight just went everywhere, but Biusted's way, and oh wow, that was a beautiful team kill. That reaction to the teleporter though, that's what closed everything up. And now we're gonna go to another map 5. It's gonna happen.
Map 5.
It's the grand finals. It's only fitting. That's definitely what I'll say. But we're gonna go to Control. And Control is one of those maps. Anything can happen. It's gonna be Ilios or Nepal. Biusted's choice. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Because obviously we've seen them play 3-3 on Busan. And I don't know if they're gonna do it again on Nepal or Ilios.
Nepal or Ilios, I could see it maybe more so on Ilios than Nepal. We talked earlier about Sanctum is really, the environmental kill haven, right? That's the whole hog, or the pulled pork, the Orisa hog combination all day long. Throw some Lucios in there, and you're going to make for some unresable kills. Are we taking a short break for these teams to coordinate, or we go ahead and straight into it?
That's the question. I think we're just gonna go straight into it. It's one map. I mean, we can. Everyone's just gonna wait. Everyone's gonna be so tense. No one's gonna wait for this. The nerves are just gonna eat us up. Me too. I don't want to wait any longer. It's gonna be Nepal, Sussex Sharks, Biusted, the grand finals, map 5 of the NUEL campus Overwatch campus clash, the summer season, summer split. Gonna be amazing. Both teams are ready. Let's get into it. And I'm very excited. I really don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah, I'm really interested which Nepal map will be first. I would love to see Sanctum again to try and set the pace, but we're going on over to Shrine. Wait,
Yeah, Shrine.
It's a Shrine,
The
yeah,
first
yeah.
one to start with. Like we said before, one of the more neutral points of these two. It's relatively easy to walk back into the map. Not that many like heavy choke points. The high ground isn't as controlling as it might be in others. There's not really a lot of environmental kills you can do. So it's just a lot about vanilla Overwatch, using the ultimates, using the heroes to their max, rather than using the map to its max. There's just not even that many walls and stuff you can hide behind a lot of the time. So I'm excited. I really don't know. I mean, what are they gonna pull out? I'm thinking Mays are gonna be played. Um, looks like yeah, May offer fixed already, but I am not
Hmm.
sure what the other side's gonna pick. BU Stead still in the spawn 3 DPS. I'm thinking they're gonna swap it up a little bit. They might
Oh,
just go
okay.
this Doomfist. I mean, Doomfist 3-2-1 worked very well from them last time, and when they're gonna
Hmm.
run into this May Reaper combination on the other side, that could be interesting because we haven't really seen that matchup happen at all. Not even in the Overwatch League, because the 2-2-2 lock only block brought in the May Reaper comp.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, I think that May Reaper makes mincemeat, just tears through like tissue paper. The kind of modified goad slash deathball comp between the Reinhardt and the Zarya for the side of BU Stead, but we shall see. We shall see. Cog on over that Lucio going to be assisting everybody flying out from under left, or I guess right temple, if that's depending on your point of view. They're just kind of waiting a little bit. No point in pushing in this quite yet because this is all about getting in there and getting in there quick. Punch coming through here as Riz tries to take out Fix, that 250 health pool helping him out. Narez falling first on this one. Busted fighting 5-5 now after Fix does get taken out by well-placed Fire Strike. Goldenfish falling and paying the price directly after that. The revenge now gotten from the side of Sussex. This Slizard Orisa doing a great job with the positioning on the Orisa shields left and right, and as Fluxed Up does get taken out of mech. Again, this is being very, very even. As I say that, Blizzard start falling and Sussex taking point.
So they're taking point first, and now the question obviously is going to be, are there going to be any switches coming out from the side of BU Stead? Because they're still running on this, and it doesn't look like it's going to work out that well against this May Reaper combination. Looks like our eyes is going to go back to spawn. The rest is maybe soon to follow. No, they're all coming out with the same composition, so nothing is really going to change here. They are coming close to a few ultimates, especially the Transcendence and that Shatter could be big. And on the other side, they only have the Supercharger and maybe the Self-Destruct to work with. So there's definitely some opportunity to do something here.
They're waiting for the Orisa shield to land so he can hit its Shatter there, and then that's Goldenfish in the back. And there it is, getting one quickly, but getting one Shatter, but taken out himself very, very quickly. Ario's trying to take out tanks left and right here, but gonna get frozen, punched away, ended with a nasty punch to the face. With that, Sussex has won this team fight again. They will be continuing on from 50% mana class.
Yeah, Fix just showing up on that maze so well. It's so hard to get past that May wall and past anything that she really does. Jam might stick on the Zarya for the grab here, but everything else being swapped up outside of the supports. Goldenfish sticking on the Reinhardt actually, because they might want to have that extra damage into the Graviton, but the healing is going to be very low, so they really need to be careful about this one. Although they have the support ultimate, so who really cares?
Yeah, the two soft supports, I can imagine they'll toss this one and then change afterwards. Sound Barrier dropping, Straybird using that Transcendence first. The Death Blossom coming through here, but Odyssey getting just absolutely put out by himself. Nobody wants to be near an ulting Reaper. Odyssey getting taken out by a nasty headshot right after that failed ultimate, unfortunately. And it looks like what BU said, taking the advantage on this one so far is just the Lucio and Fixed on the May. We do have more on the back, but she can't do much by herself. 93, 94%. And really, we just see a Sussex team who wants to push this to 99.
Yeah, we're gonna see it. I mean, even if it's 98, it's still it's virtually 99, so it's not gonna change that much. One fight territory here. Blizzard Star gonna be trying to get as much ult charge from that May as possible because Fixed is already at that Blizzard. You really need to be so careful about that. Yes, the Rein Zarya are a little bit less susceptible than the Rodok and the Orisa usually are, but it's still so hard to run away from a Blizzard even if you have the cooldowns for it.
Goldenfish up here in the front with that shield. Barely gets behind that May wall. Great job on that one, but not going to be enough because that Blizzard comes out afterwards. Blizzard taking out his opponent main support, or main tank, excuse me, as Slazard's shield just gets absolutely deleted down. A couple good May walls here from both Blizzard and Fix, but the fight continues as Rez and Jam both fall. The ultimate invested by Shushu. This Moira using that Coalesce to keep everybody up and do damage same time. Cloud going to be left on this, just trying to contest this one out as long as they can, because they would like to get as much point as they can. So 98, 99, overtime triggered. Goldenfish has the Shatter out, but not able to finish it. The Odyssey McCree switch pays off in spades.
And that last fight is really a lot on Blizzard Star to maybe get a Blizzard up in time. Didn't quite make it there. So yeah, we're now gonna look over to continue Nepal here, going over to Village, and yeah, I'm very curious to see if we're gonna see some swaps coming out now from the other sides of BU set mostly, because they were not looking that comfortable on that Ryan Zarya against the May Reaper, and they're gonna run the Roadhog Orisa and the May Reaper off their own now with the supports that go along with it, which is the Lucio Moira. And this could be a very interesting matchup. We're gonna see the only difference being the Diva versus the Roadhog. So the Halt Hook versus potentially eating the Halt Hook. The ultimate's not incredibly important, but it's all gonna land on the shoulders of the Maze, the Reapers, just everything. It's gonna be a very interesting one. This one.
I'll say that Fluxed Up's self-destructs have been a little bit more impactful than Jim Jam's whole hogs. We'll see if that trend continues so far. So 10 seconds to go on point as we see melts and freezes coming through. Jim Jam all over Odyssey on that one. Now we see Slizer actually off with point, and now that's Riz and company taking advantage of that one all day. BU said taking first fight and going to be starting to take progression at 0-1%.
Yeah, big deal, of course, that the self-destruct will only be up when iFlux has finally charged the ultimate, but the hook will be there every 8 seconds or so. So Odyssey just got hooked in there by Jam Jam, taken out straight away. That gives you just a lot of damage advantage in that fight.
20% or so now for BU Stead as half of Sussex gets cut off by this Maywall. Great job, and Flux getting a nasty hook against him. That 600 health going to pay off there, though, and so he's not taken out instantly. As Freeze coming through here as Coalescence now getting invested by Shoo Shoo. Tradewar's close to his as we see Sussex pushing in here very quickly. 90% or so is Flux getting taken out of mech. Fix getting headshotted. Riz taking out his counterpart. Sliz falling, and BU Stead winning another team fight.
And with all the extra damage that Jam Jam is able to provide with the hooks, and with all the pressure that they're putting onto Odyssey on that Reaper, they're having so much trouble to deal with anything here on the side of Sussex. They can't really push into anything because they're being pushed into or being spammed at by all the damage that's coming out from BU Stead. And that's why you see them struggling so much. They switch Odyssey over to the McCree, but they have very little to work with ultimate-wise, a lot on the other side, and only really one, maybe 2 fights to get this point back in and win the series. They still have a third point potentially, but they still need to get there first.
Pull coming in there. Nice freezes coming against Jam Jam. He's not going to see the rest of this team fight as Goldenfish does drop that supercharger here on point. That's going to be affecting every single member of BU Stead as they're trying to get in here. Flizzler setting up shields to push and try and get this progression, but now Pull coming out here. Soundbayer forced out for the side of Sussex, and now both sides. Cloud doing his part on this one as we see 86-87% freeze coming out against members of Sussex, and now Fix tossing his own headshots and more as Jim Jam and Riz get it going here, and I think this is going the way of BU Stead.
As not really anything can do, no miracle shatters this time around, guys. It's actually just going to be the cleanup here from the RI's Death Blossom. So second stage here onto Nepal, looking to go over. Yeah, Slicer doesn't make it there. So it's going to be a 1-1 in Nepal to close out the series, to close out this season of the Overwatch Campus Clash, stage 3 on Nepal. And it looked like when they mirrored this composition, if they mirror this composition, it looks like right now that BU Stead has the edge because they're running the Reaper and the May just a little bit better. But it could change here. We're going to see Fix potentially on the Pharah here. And with Cog also on the Lucio, I mean, you never know what can happen with this environment in the middle. We've talked about that before. It's quite a big area. And while iFluxed Up and Jam Jam are going to try to hook people, Fixed and Cloud are also going to try to boot people. And then we have the Halt. So you got to be very careful about this. You're not Reinhardt, who has had a passive reduction. You're everyone else who hasn't.
Exactly, my man. Exactly. This could be, or this will be it. There is no question about it. This is game 5. This is map 3. Cog on Fixed, I think, is going to provide a lot of value here, especially with this big open point. But really, like you said, it's going to come down to who can get the environmental kills. Cloud and company now dropping down from the middle. That's Sussex, who is completely on point so far. Pulling coming out, not following it up. Oh, excuse me. Even I missed that as Odyssey does get hooked after the pull. Now we see Sussex fighting 5-6.
With his Halt Hook combos, really, you see them, and then you don't. There goes Goldenfish. So this fight might not be over just yet, but the point is in control of BU Stead. So they really can come back in now with having their main tank. but they still need to
There's-
cap the points.
There's another that Fluxed Up gets. No pull necessary on this one as Fix is still up top and still getting it done. Lots of damage coming onto them as the invincibility shield is going to prove not to be enough. RI is getting taken out there, as is Blizzard Star, and Sussex starts to take their own percentage.
And it's going to be very annoying to deal with this Pharah in the sky. Fix is just going to fly around. As we see RIZ going over to the McCree, you don't really need the Reaper if you don't want to get it, don't necessarily can get in close, because Odyssey and Fix is going to shoot projectiles from across the map. And if you don't have anything ranged for yourself to deal with, like if you're running a Reaper, for instance, that's going to be trouble. And that's why RIZ is now trying to get the angle with Blizzard Star onto that fixed Pharah.
Straber's got his work cut out for him here as the pull comes in. Oh, that was Goldfish actually pulled. Oh, nice. Okay, so that's Jam that did follow up on that one. The pull coming in, Cloud making sure he gets down there. But a lot of picks coming against Sussex a little bit late here is going to make for Busted to have a really good shot at taking this. Dragons now coming in. Odyssey investing that one and try and take this out. And Jam taking, not able to get away from it. Blizzard Star and Cloud are there. And that turns into more damage. Slazer's going to be by himself. And now we see Busted with a solid chance at taking this. Rez coming in. Cog got it. That's only going to be 2 supports and a Roadhog, though. I'm not sure how long this one's gonna last.
Yeah, I fluxed up not on the Clutch Diva this time with the 5k self-destruct. It's just gonna be a Roadhog. And that's just a lot of ult charge fed over, to be honest. RAZ really pulling that one back. I think got 4 picks overall in that fight. Lost the 1v1 versus Odyssey, though. So that was a little bit of a shame. Otherwise, it would have not have been as close of a fight. But now they're in a position to really hold that choke, to really hold aggressively. And that Pharah is gonna have so much trouble getting in now.
Yeah, and Shu switching on over to the Ana, they're definitely going to want to invest a lot of these really good anti-grenades. Odyssey first, and he looks like he almost got away from that. Triple anti coming against a bunch of different, both tanks and the Mei, but not able to take advantage of that one as the pull comes into Golden Fish, and that's going to be a Sussex team currently at advantage. Coming all the way back here, as BU said, they're flooding point like water as the, might be High Noon. RIZ taking out the Pharmacy combination in the top by himself. The High Noon providing value ever so again. 61-62% as Flux investing that whole hog down bottom, but yeah, you can't expect to live through that one, can't heal through it, as now we see Busted tying and going 71% for the advantage.
Yeah, Cog going over to the Lucio, so Fix will even more trouble getting away from that McCree. There'll be so much damage pumped in, and RI's has just been hounding Fixed, really. The barrage has not seen any use so far. Been having that for about the entire round already, I believe.
Oh, it definitely has. Attempted pull coming out from a Golden Fish, and there's the initial one. RAZ putting him down quickly, though. The whole coming out by Jam. He's doing a great job of blowing players off a point. Oh, there you go. There's the Dragons coming in. Oh, Jam with the best timing in the world, and the anti and more is not gonna matter. Busted taking it and winning the NUEL Campus Clash Overwatch Grand Finals.
I don't even know what to say about that last one, but it was amazing. I mean, RI's just really, I think we're gonna see it here where he gets the double kill on the Pharmacy and then just continues as well. Not even. No, this was the fight before that where he first gets the kill on the Pharmacy while the fight is sort of being lost by his team, then gets the Mercy, and then goes for the 1v1 with Odyssey. Unfortunately, doesn't win that one, but that was so close, and they still won that fight. They win the map, they win the series, they win the championship. Congratulations to Busted. That was, again, it was just an amazing series. I really enjoyed that one.
I really did, man. A semifinals match going to Game 5. A grand finals match between Busted and Sussex going to Game 5. Busted pulling out ahead. I cannot ask for anything more. Busted is going to get themselves $40 in Blizz Bucks apiece. Sussex is going to give themselves $30 of Blizz Bucks apiece. Cambridge in third place is going to get $15 apiece. And again, all of that made possible by Twitch Student, Republic of Gamers, Awesome Organization, and Intel, the massive hardware software corporation. Let's talk a little bit more about this before we let the good people go here, man, in class.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, we've seen a lot of good series. We've seen 2 good series tonight. We've seen a lot of good series throughout the entire championship. I think we can really look back on a very versatile tournament that we've seen, because it wasn't just the 2-2-2 that came in but wasn't enforced. There was just a lot more happening, right? Like, we've even seen a lot of 3-3 being run tonight because they had a gentleman's agreement. Just agree, you know what? gonna run 3-3. Let's end the era in a nice way. And then in the last series, I do like though that we saw a little bit of both in the last series. It's always nice to really have that versatility come out. We saw a lot of different heroes, a lot of Mei and Orisa, granted, but we also
Yep.
saw Faras come out. We saw Genjis, saw Hanzos, McCree's. We saw everything really.
Yeah. Double sniper, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah. What was there a DPS that we haven't seen? Because I think we saw all of them.
Soldier 76.
That's the one. I think that's the only one we haven't seen. Because even Junkrat got pulled out at some point. So we
did.
definitely,
He did.
yeah. So I don't think we have
And the
seen
Sombra,
anything
no
else.
Torbjorn.
The Sombra. Oh
Or
yeah,
no,
so
the Symmetra even. We saw Symmetra. Yeah, so I think
yeah, so
Torb and
Soldier Torbjorn, those are the only two. And out of like 15 or 16 DPS that we have right now, that's a
Yeah.
very low percentage of DPS you didn't see. And that shows a lot of promise for the future of Overwatch right now. That's
It
why
does.
people are really fans of the 222. That's why I also really like that they went this way. We're not quite there yet, but it's a bright future for Overwatch and a bright future for all these players. I mean, they get to experience more of Blizzard games with their BlizzBucks. They definitely get to experience more of Overwatch because it looks like they're having fun playing the game as a team. And yeah, that also means that we're going to have more opportunity if people are going to keep playing the game to talk about the game when people are playing it.
Exactly.
So I think everyone wins in this situation.
It does. Without you good people playing, what would I have to commentate, right, Mana Class?
Yeah.
But seriously, that's I'm sorry?
That's definitely something. Yeah. And not to mention, we also need the people behind the scenes to actually be able to talk about something.
That's
Because
where I
we
was
can
going.
just
There you
we
go.
can
Read
just
my mind.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you finish it. I made the point, you finish it and flourish it up real nice.
Not a problem. Hyde, we appreciate you being down there producing away. I know personally I cannot cast and produce at the same time. We
Nope.
appreciate that. You're doing a great job on that one. I'm FBI Tugboat. Casting with has been Man of Class, and I think with that we have reached my least favorite part of any cast, and that is the end, Man of Class. If you could tell the good people goodbye, and we'll let them on out of here.
Yeah, I'll try not to cry, but goodbye, everyone. Have a very good night. Enjoy the last weeks of summer before the whole semester thing starts again, and we'll see you guys hopefully very soon.
Long way left to go, but you